Hello and welcome to another episode of The Yaseen with me, Yascast.
Good start.
Good start.
That's a good start.
Yeah, this
Good
is
start.
this is a good start. Good start. Yeah, this is The Yascast with me, Yaseen, your host. But you should know that by now. I'm Yaseen. That's Yassi_J at labyrinth.zone. And this is season 2, episode 3.
Woo!
Not 2, as I mistakenly put in the questions post. But good thing I realized now rather than after I'd recorded this. Otherwise, I don't think we could have 2 episodes 2s. I mean, we could have two episode 2s. That would be like in keeping with my whole like thing. But at the same time, I think it's best to have a consistent numbering scheme. Or not. I don't really care. Anyway, today's guests are none other than Kuriko, who is at Kuriko at wetdry.world, and Miya, who is at iro_Miya at mk.abstothelba. Is that close enough? Did I get it right? Is that close enough?
It's mk.abstothelba. You can also just type in miya.pet in your web browser and it will redirect you because German is difficult.
You know, if you were still on your old one, Zweite Kasabita, I would have been able to pronounce that for some reason. But no.
Yes, shout out to Miya at ik.zweitekassabite and Miya at katkatnia.com. Rest in peace to all of us.
So, new for this episode is that we are conducting this one on Google Meet, which is new. We've been doing it through Discord, and before that, we're doing it through some podcasting software. So the interesting thing is that the podcasting software has totally become an AI-infested, like, slop fest thing. So maybe it's a good thing that I had to stop using it. The reason why we're using Google Meet actually is because my aunt has a Android phone, and so do I. I have a Pixel, and her storage has kind of run out, and so is mine, like the cloud backup stuff. And so she needs video conferencing software for her job. So we went halvesies on a 2 terabyte Google One plan, which comes with storage and Google Meet and Fitbit Premium. And I have a Fitbit, so that like works out incredibly well for me. And I guess I can just use this for hosting the Yascast.
So you're just free riding at the moment.
No, I'm not free riding. It's half and half, Kuriko. That's not free riding. That's a good economic decision. And I think Fitbit Premium by itself is the same cost as 1 year of Google One anyway.
Oh.
So
Okay.
like it's $79.99. So it's $79.99 per year for Google One's 2 terabyte plan, and $79.99 per year for Fitbit Premium. So that's a saving for sure. But did you guys know that Google One also has a 2 terabyte AI plan?
Of course it does.
Which includes access to Gemini Advance. And the cost is like £150
Per year?
pounds a year. Yeah, per year.
So like,
but you can only pay monthly.
so you're paying extra so that some graphics card in the cloud can suggest you to eat glue on the pizza.
That's correct.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's yeah.
That's fantastic. Yep. And in similar related news is that Microsoft is upping the price of their 365 software to include. So the price is jumping from like $7.99 to like $12.99 or something like that. Extra bonus you get is access to some advanced Copilot shit or whatever, and Microsoft Designer, which is an AI-powered knockoff of Canva.
Okay. I am so glad I don't need Office. I used to. I used to be a Microsoft fanboy, and then I decided not to become a Microsoft fan, and then decided not to become a boy. So yeah, I used to be the person that actually cherishes Windows, Microsoft Windows, Internet Explorer 11. But then I realized
That's good.
I have my OneDrive phase, I have my Office phase.
Oh, that's such a good redemption.
But now it's like no.
That's funny. My workplace is going to update our laptops to Windows 11, so I am looking forward to Copilot being jammed in there for no fucking reason.
Is it updating you to a Copilot PC?
No, I'm still gonna be using my trusty ThinkPad from like, I think it's like a 2019 model, but it has an SSD in it, and it works fine. Honestly, I don't think even a supercomputer could be able to handle the massive Excel spreadsheets I have to deal with. So really, it doesn't particularly matter to me like how good the computer is.
Have the AI deal with it. And
Have the AI deal with it? Yeah. I mean, the thing is that I know that the executive people, they have Surface like Pros. It feels like overkill, to be quite honest. I mean, there's nothing that they do that I don't do that specifically requires a Surface Pro laptop. I mean, I would make better use of that touchscreen than they would, that's for sure.
true, they can just be given iPads or whatever. They can just be given Raspberry Pis. All they do is like, what do they do all day? They just like write emails? Question mark.
Well, that's it, right? I'm pretty sure all they do is like go to meetings, write emails, look at documents and shit. Like that's like iPad stuff, right? You know?
Yeah,
But
it's
see,
like
Yaseen,
I mean, I'm sure they do. Yeah.
this is what happens when the people who are in charge of the money also get to decide how it is going to be spent. You see, in a capitalistic society, the workers don't have the right to choose how the fruit of their labor is being used.
Exactly. You're right. We live in a kind of like modern day kind of feudalism in a sense. In fact, I read this book. The book is called Private Government, and it posits that the workplace is itself a totalitarian dictatorship in the form of a government. In that all decisions are made centrally with no like input from people from below, and your speech is controlled, your associations are controlled, the where you spend your time is controlled. It much in the same way that a totalitarian dictatorship would do so, and most of the value of the work is funneled up towards those who control the system itself. And you know, it's an interesting like thought to have. Because she says, you know, in your regular life, you choose who you associate with. If you live in a democracy, you choose who your leaders are. Asterisk there. And, you know, you choose what to speak about and all this kind of stuff. You have so much choice in your life, yet when it comes to your workplace, where you spend most of your time, you have very little control over what happens. And she even says even those workplaces that are unionized still have totalitarian tendencies within them, because the union is a very small, almost controlled way of workers expressing themselves, rather than a kind of total open and accountable structure from top to bottom, like a cooperative, for example. That is an example of a democratic workplace in that all decisions are made with the consent of those who do the work. If you dig the coal, you should have as much say in what happens to that coal as anyone else. This is probably the best way to start an episode, I suppose.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good way.
It is. It is. You know, and I think we should definitely see workplaces as these forms of totalitarian dictatorships that you have no control over. I mean, you know, you can vote with your feet, but you just swap one totalitarian dictatorship for another. If you change jobs, you swap dictatorships almost. And a small business is more like a mini fiefdom rather than a totalitarian state, because you have this one guy who controls this tiny patch of land and orders you around to do what you want. And if you become self-employed, then you become the dictator, unless you include democratic and accountable elements within the way you structure your workplace.
Bonus fact of sometimes you can't necessarily vote with your feet that easily, because for example, like if you have employment that is tied to your immigration status, if you have your immigration status tied to your employment, then if they fire you or if you want to leave, that is tough. I'm not speaking from experiences. Totally, I'm definitely not speaking from experiences, but yeah, it's right,
exactly.
Fucked up.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I mean, visas are also a scam as well.
Absolutely.
Both the payment processor and also the legal instrument
No. Visa payment processor is good. Kudos to Visa. I love Visa. I think Visa is like just the best company on earth. I have such an emotional attachment to Visa. I think it's wonderful how like it enables us to pay effortlessly with just these little pieces of plastic. It like revolutionizes the way that we are connected to our money. So yeah, kudos to Visa and fuck MasterCard.
So we have the first sponsor of the episode.
Yeah, this episode is sponsored by Visa.
Oh man, I wish Visa would sponsor this episode. I would totally accept their sponsorship. In fact, I'd accept any sponsorship from anyone at this rate. It's not because my morals are flexible. It's just because like no one gets paid enough in this economy, including me. So
What the fuck? You're a sellout.
thank you, Miya, for your confidence in me. But speaking of sponsorships, someone did pay me some money right now. So
Ooh.
this is from I Can't Believe It's Not Robin. Fediverse user, maybe it's Robin, who is at Lenovo ThinkBad at Labyrinth.zone, is maybe cool. I'm not 100% certain because he might not actually be Robin, but he's probably just as cool as Batman's sidekick, if not more so. This message is definitely not by Robin.
How much are you paid? Should I file a Freedom of Information Act to get that information from you?
How much was I paid to say that?
Yes.
There isn't a number attached to this one. I don't understand how that works. Oh, okay, yeah. No man, I got paid 10 quid for that.
10?
Nice.
You,
I feel like you're way above market rate here.
You sold yourself for 10 quid?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I sold myself for like 2 cans of soda.
Think about it. Like, this is so good for the CPM that you're giving them. Like, you're being paid so much.
Oh my god. So, yes, capitalism is bad, I think.
That's an incredible way to follow this up.
In the capitalist civilization.
Shut up. This episode is over, okay? I'm booting you both out of this call.
What the fuck? This is authoritarian.
So yeah, visas are also a scam too. I agree on that front.
You mean Visa the payment company or Visa
Visa the legal instrument?
Yeah.
Well, let's elaborate. Let's elaborate right after 2 weeks later, like 2 weeks before I paid £90 to the French government to get one.
Right.
Well, I'm more frustrated at this is a vent towards the European Union. It's
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I might be privileged to say this, but I do think they need to lower their visa requirements. Like paying €90 just to get 45 days in is not great. It's not a great value proposition.
That's €2 per day.
Yeah. That's like that's crap, you know.
And
yeah,
and the bonus is that because most of the people in UK does not need a visa to go to the EU. That means like the companies that are outsourced to do the visa application thing, they can go very like they can cheese you in every single step of the process because they know that you are very likely not a UK citizen, and they can just bully you around, and they can just offer as little as application slots as possible, and they can charge you like they like in the French visa application center in London, they do have like photo booths for you to use in case your photo doesn't pass their qualifications. It's just like the booth you see in most UK railway stations and public places, but they double the price. So it's like 10 pounds. It's like £10 for like 4 photos. I can go all day about ranting about visas.
Yeah.
Probably will need 2 or 3 more this year. We'll see.
Yeah, I think the thing that most people who live in the West don't understand about the process of applying for visas is that the vast majority of visa services are outsourced. especially in Britain, especially so. Like the vast majority of applications do not directly go to the Home Office. They go to a company that the Home Office has contracted out, so that they don't have any of the legal blah 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 bullshit. This company does basically all of the processing, all of the outreach, all of the work that the Home Office doesn't really want to do. And because despite Britain's economic suckiness, it's still a very popular place to get a visa. So there's this captive audience of people who want to come to Britain for any number of reasons, even just tourism alone. And there's no other choice. So these companies charge up the wazoo, give as little service as possible, claim to lose your application or whatever, and there's no recourse.
How?
Because it's just...
How do you lose an application?
That's just how it is.
Well,
that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Like
I have the visa office in London for Canada lose my passport for a week, so that was intense because it's my passport,
right?
But so dear all of the VFS Global executives currently listening to this podcast, you can go fuck yourself in the ditch. Feel free to bleep that if you need to.
I don't need to. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
Yeah, VFS Global is the big one. They provide visa services to the vast majority of Western countries. And of course, if something happens in your whole visa process, you don't complain to the Home Office. You complain to VFS. But they're a private company, so they can do whatever they want. There's no
complaint. Their complaint box is a printer attached to a shredder.
Yeah. If this was a problem with the Home Office, then there are ways to complain, even if it is bureaucratic. But it's not the Home Office. It's a private company that does all the work, and this is something that Westerners don't get, and especially people like Americans too. Like they will have this assumption that coming to Europe is as easy as this, but no, it is not. And even and that's not going into the political aspects of immigration. This is just the bureaucracy of just separate the bureaucracy of immigration is way worse than the political aspect of immigration. So remember I went to Canada for my cousin's wedding.
Yeah.
So I could easily get an ESTA to go to Canada. It took 5 minutes. I filled the form in. I waited 2 minutes and I got an email saying, "Yeah, here you go. You can come to Canada."
That's the electronic travel authorization, right?
Yeah, electronic authorization, right? Now, my relatives are from Bangladesh, so they cannot get an ETA because, well, it makes sense. So my cousin's mom and the rest of my family over there had to apply for a visa the regular way. Thankfully, they do live in Dhaka, so the Canadian embassy isn't far away. But it required completing a 50-page document supplying all of these proofs of what this, that, and the other, right? And the thing is that my family in Bangladesh are relatively affluent, so they have no reason to overstay a visa. They have businesses and stuff, they have dealings or whatever, and despite the fact that they have no reason to overstay a visa, they have literal proof that they will go home. The Canadian visa service denied all but one of my relatives.
Why? Just one?
Just one, and that was my cousin's mom.
Jesus.
So that meant that of all my entire family that could go to Canada, it was just me, 4 or 5 of us, the couple of cousins that did live in Canada, and my cousin's mom. Cool. It was, yeah. And that's why I had to do so much work while I was in Canada, because all my other cousins would have chipped in and did bits and bobs. But because they just couldn't turn up.
It's just you.
It's just me. I had to do so much fucking decorating, man.
Is a Canadian visa decision process, does that involve a dice?
Yeah, I guess so. But the strange thing is that, when a couple of my family members wanted to see my cousin, last year, just like for a visit. It was a totally easy, simple, like, I mean, not it's easy, but like it was much more straightforward. Like they just got it straight away. Like, oh, okay, cool. So I don't know what the difference is between then and now, but you know, here we are. And speaking of travel, I went again to my cousin's wedding, the same cousin, but in Bangladesh. That was a lot.
Do you need a visa to go
No,
there?
I don't need a visa to go there. In fact, in my passport, it says NVR, which is code for no visa required.
Oh.
Because of ancestry.
Right.
It makes sense. And it just so happens that there is a consulate of Bangladesh down the street from Nushu Station. So it was pretty easy to go there and say, hey, I have ancestry. Please, can I not have a visa? And they just stick a little sticker in your passport that says no visa required, expiry date whenever this passport expires, and then that's pretty much it.
That's nice.
So that's nice. So I don't need a visa. I can go as many times as I want. I do have a Bangladeshi passport, but obviously I will never use it for any purpose other than to prove like citizenship or whatever. It does mean though that if I do get prosecuted under the Prevention of Terrorism Act in this country, I can be stripped to my British citizenship. So that's not good.
Are you expecting this to happen in this year?
No, not this year at least.
Distant explosions down the street.
But yeah, going there was an interesting experience because every day I had to go to some dumbass party. Like I said, my cousins are my family there is extremely affluent. And when I say extremely affluent, I mean like
they can buy the city of Birmingham.
They could, probably. But no, to give you an idea of what I mean is that, so Bangladesh, like many other developing countries, has an import tariff on electronic goods, and that includes things like iPhones. So an iPhone in Bangladesh would actually be more expensive than it would be to buy here. All of my cousins, all my relatives, have iPhones.
Ooh.
Like current version ones, not like fourth hand.
Yeah, like whatever is the latest version, they have that, or at least like the one before or whatever. Like up to date, like all the iPhones they have, I know have USB-C. That's as much as I.
Okay, that is new. That is
yeah.
wow. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So you can imagine like the kind of like, I guess like culture shock, I suppose, that like they are very, very much like, I mean, I'm not like elite or whatever, but like they're quite up there. They're quite affluent. Like one of my cousins, his apartment is the whole floor of the building. I asked him, what's your apartment number? He said 5th floor, and I'm like, okay, what does that mean? I go to his block, I press 5, and he's right. His apartment is the 5th floor. And
Oh my god.
Wow.
But his apartment is so huge. His flat is so huge that he has a room just for him and his wife's clothes and his children's clothes. And that room is bigger than my brother's bedroom, like at least 1.5 times the size.
Is it bigger than whatever the room that you're currently in?
This room, I think it's actually about the same size as this room. Yeah.
I see.
So larger than larger than the Curry flat. Apparently,
Yeah. I mean,
guess.
you both have been into the room that I'm currently recording from.
Yes.
So if you imagine this room, but like filled with shelves and wardrobes and stuff, that's the kind of size.
Yeah, that's
we're talking
bigger
about
than Kuriko's flat.
here. Yeah. And then to top it off is that the entire building is owned by his wife's dad. And so all the other residents are his relatives or whatever. So
they're going to throw a building party instead of a house party.
yes, pretty much, yeah. So when I say that my family are affluent over there, I mean like holy shit. Like there is a reason why we did like a party like almost every single day. It's because it's very kind of opulent and ostentatious and like a lot, because it's an attempt to display to my cousin's husband's family that we can
Of like they're rich.
yeah, exactly. Like they can provide, right? And in turn, when they did their events, it was also similarly quite glossy and ostentatious to prove,
like we can provide too.
yeah, exactly, and and like one of the events, which was like a dance celebration thing, which is not the wedding, by the way, just a day that we had dancing. They hired, how to put it? They hired someone who was like the Bengali version of Phil Collins to turn up.
What?
Yeah.
You might have to explain what Phil Collins is.
Phil Collins is a very famous musician. He's like very. He's just very cool. He's very understated. And this wasn't the wedding, by the way. This was just an event. Like, and Phil Collins was there. Okay, cool. I mean, like my family and I, like, there's nothing really wrong with them, whatever. But like, I'm just talking about like the complete like culture shock here. It's like, you know, like I had to like save up a bunch of money to afford this flight over there, and my cousin has a has a room just for his clothes, you know.
and then like at the airport, like a limo picked you up.
Well, no, but my cousin's driver did pick me up.
Aww.
Wait, hold on. Your cousin's driver.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a limo
flex.
equivalent. Yeah, that is a flex.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a limo. Like, it was a nice car. It was a van, like a minivan.
Right.
But it had leather seats, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I know. Better than a limousine, I think.
So your family could actually save the city of Birmingham.
Maybe I don't know. I don't think they're that affluent.
This is so interesting, getting to learn the roots of Yaseen and the aristocracy.
Yeah, sure. Let's. I mean, they're not aristocrats. They just like have money.
They just have money. Where's the money from?
Where's the money from?
Yeah, where's the money from, Yaseen?
So, as far as I'm aware, most of the money comes from like construction and stuff, which makes sense since there was a whole like civil war in 1971 that founded the whole country of Bangladesh. You know, building stuff is very important. So that's where most of the money comes from, just from building stuff.
Right.
And Dhaka is like one of the most expensive cities in the world to like build and own property in, because it's so hideously dense in every direction.
But is the government corrupt so that you have to like to actually get a planning permit?
Of course, yes.
To actually get a zoning permit, you have to
Speaking of the government did get overthrown in the summer. So the previous government was a fascist, kind of Orban-like dictatorship. So not quite Vladimir Putin, but not quite Orban, like close, like halfway between the two there. And it was ruled by this one woman called Yaseen for as long as I can remember, really, like ever since I was a teenager, I think. And then she'd ruled the country with an iron fist, secret police kind of stuff. Like one of my uncles got disappeared because he led a campaign against her, saying
God disappeared. It's a word choice there.
Yeah, he got disappeared. Like no one knows where he is, or anything like that. And he got disappeared because he, like Soviet style, because he spoke up against. He was very publicly a critic of the government and very publicly like, hey, you know, I don't think you should be doing bad things. And then because he got so much popular support, it was like, this person should be mysteriously disappeared. So yeah, but she's gone now. She fled somewhere, I think to India or whatever. And now the country has a new civilian interim leadership led by this guy called Muhammad Yunus, who is actually a decent guy. Like he's actually a good person. Like he
so far.
But obviously, like the problem is, like with any other regime change, is that there are still people from the old regime still in like bits and pockets of power, and of course there's the police, which were instrumental in protecting the regime and so on and so forth. But the good thing is that, like, since the new government has come in, not once did we get shaken down for money, which is good.
That is impressive. It's because like if it's the previous government, like everything will require tips
Yes.
to the garbage.
Right.
Tips. Yeah. The Bengali saying is water money. So
Water money?
You're giving them money to buy bottled water, essentially.
Ah.
You know, like buying them a drink. That's what I call, or a tip. Calling it a bribe is too obvious, but a tip, bottled water money, things like that. But yeah, like seeing my family, it was great and cool and fun. They're all okay. The thing is that they're all a lot older than me, and only a few relatives are like around about the same age as me, and also they're not very. I mean, they're not dumb, but they're not like.
Okay.
They're smart people, but they're not like
They're smart people, but
they don't really talk about like oh yeah, you know, I think they don't really have opinions on big topics like.
So they're normies.
They're normies, yeah. They're total fucking normies. That's why it's difficult for me to fit in. Yeah.
Do I have to look up Bangladesh libel law to make sure that like I don't get sued into my ass?
But yeah, it was fun, and now I'm back home, and I am happy to not be eaten by mosquitoes. That was pretty bad.
Right.
Right, but it isn't. Well, so how's the climate there? Like you went. Okay, so it's winter, but still the weather is definitely nicer than 2 degrees Celsius, right?
Oh yeah. At night it's like 18 degrees, so I'm going out in like shorts and t-shirt, and everyone else is wearing like jackets and jumpers. I'm like, wow, this is great. This is so pleasant. I love it here. I've been in.
By the way, 18 degrees is 64 degrees wrong unit if you are from the wrong part of the world.
I have
just
been,
for our international listeners.
I have been in the summer. It gets up to 50 degrees, which is very unpleasant.
Celsius.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And as climate change makes things worse, that will get hotter and hotter. But also, more and more people from the countryside will flee to the seas because of flooding, as well as the warming climate. So, yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
And as temperature goes higher, you need water money to keep the garment afloat.
Exactly. It has been nearly half an hour, and I didn't even ask how you guys are doing.
Surviving. It's surviving in the United Kingdom. It's always a daily task.
Yeah, YouTube, the last people I saw.
Damn.
Before-
What happened after that?
What happened after that, and what do you work with?
What?
Yeah.
If you said like we're the last people they have seen, like have you seen no one at work? Do you work for crocodiles? Do you like?
It sounded very ominous.
Yeah, like YouTube, the last people I saw. Then I went on holiday, and then I came back.
Right. Okay. But okay. And you have not seen anyone from work. You have not seen humans.
No. Why would I need to go to the office?
Okay. Not even web meetings? You don't do web meetings?
What? When?
Web like you don't do meetings over the internet.
Oh, right. Yeah. I do that.
Okay.
I mean, I thought you were talking about real life.
Okay, I see. So you were last touched by us.
Hmm.
Yes. I was last touched by you and Miya.
How do you recover from the experience?
I don't think nothing can top being touched by you and Miya.
Hmm. Where did Kuriko and Miya touch you?
In my heart.
Oh,
I see.
Just like
That is cute.
upload, like gives Yaseen a doll. So like point to
Point out the body when I touched you. That's so funny. Oh my god. Yeah.
and hands you over a Mastodon plushie. So it's
Yeah, we had fun last time we hung out. It was great.
it was the
So-
yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so how is so to kind of like bring this podcast up to date with the kids? How would you rate my aura, and how would you rate Kuriko's aura?
What the fuck? 10 each.
Do we have Reza?
Yes, you both have Riz. You both have 10
Yeah.
out of 10 aura, okay?
You think the Sigmas?
Yes. Yes, I believe that both of you have the Sigma aura. Both of you are us. You have the Sigma grind set.
Okay, that's a skibidi.
That's true. You guys are the skibbity to my toilet.
So for all the listeners,
You are the knee to my surgery tomorrow.
oh.
Aww.
So, for all the listeners, we're currently in the Google Hangouts chat. So I'm able to see Yaseen on camera, and for the past 2 minutes, the emotions on their face can only be described as there's some weapon behind me.
It's true. It's true. How are you both doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I napped for like so long this afternoon. So honestly, that was quite nice. Like I woke up, went back home, napped a lot, and then I'm on the Yascast. That's great.
Great. And you, Kuriko?
Yeah, I've been waiting this moment for a week. Well, and
Ooh.
if my employer is currently listening, you should stop right now. Yeah, given that I normally work US hours, I'm essentially like escaping of like slacking off work, just to be honest.
Well, that's, that means a lot to me, Kuriko. I appreciate you so much. Oh, actually,
Well,
I do have a
What?
question,
What's
Kuriko. So, Kuriko, in your native language, do you have different names for different, like, branches of your family? So, like, for example, so in Bengali, for example, each, like, relative has a name that's specific to their relation to you. So, the word for auntie depends on which auntie it is. So, for example, my mom's sister is my... wait, hang on. Let me draw the family tree in my head. So my mom's sister would be my kala ma,
yeah.
whereas my mom's brother's wife, who was also my aunt, would be my mammy. And it goes even all the way back. So for example, my grandpa, my dad's dad is my dada, and my dad's brother, who is my dad's uncle, would be my dada bai. So basically, you can work out how someone's related to someone else just by that one word. You can work out if they're related through blood, which side of the family they're related to, and if they're related by marriage or by some other means. And what's also interesting that there's no word for cousin. So you would use the same word for brother or sister that you would for cousin, which makes
Okay,
sense.
that's so hot. I would prefer it.
Shut up. Which obviously makes sense from a cultural point of view, because it is seen culturally that your cousins will be as close to you or on the same kind of level as your siblings in that kind of family structure type deal. And so therefore your cousins, like children, for example, would be seen in the same way as a niece or nephew and would be appropriately termed that, instead of the English way, which is like, oh yeah, this is my second cousin 256 times removed. Like, I don't know what the hell that means. Like, what is this? Like, and it feels so clumsy when I have to translate my family relationships into English, because like all of these words mean nothing. Like they have one word is for various different types of family members, whereas in my understanding of like a family structure, there's a specific worth of each individual person because they have an individual, because how they relate to me is as important as what kind of relation they are to me. Whereas in English, that distinction doesn't need to be made so much because the family outside of your immediate structure is considered less in vocabulary than your immediate family. That's why you have much stronger words for people in your close circle rather than people who are outside that kind of family structure. So Kuriko, as someone whose language is a completely different language family from the Sanskrit-based Bengali and the European English, I want to know, does your language have a specific kind of, like how do you determine family structure and stuff? Does that...
You're asking someone who was born in the peak of the one-child ruling to enumerate a family tree. I don't want to butcher anything. I don't want to like be an AI and spread false information. But I think Mandarin is probably sits in the middle. There is definitely like we can get more nuanced compared to English, but I don't think it is as detailed as your native language, where like everyone gets a word. Sometimes we have numbers involved in case if I have like two aunts, for example, you can just say like depends on the age. This one is the first one. This one's the second one.
Right.
And there's words for the grandpa on your mom's side and versus the grandpa on your dad's side. Those like there are different words for that. But again, because we need to involve numbers for things, so I think Mandarin sits in the middle. But again, I just don't have that many family members to begin with. So yeah,
that is interesting. Yeah, like I think like it's interesting because you can kind of combine words to get like even more granular. So for example, one I gave earlier was like my grandpa's brother, right? So that's my dadabai. So you know exactly that is my dad's side, his dad, and that person's brother. But dadabai literally means grandpa brother. So from that, so I can then construct a similar sentence which apply. So if I'm talking about his wife, I can say, you know, like grandpa brother, like aunt, essentially in that sense. And you will in that like word, you will understand exactly that I'm talking about a woman. I'm talking about a person who is married, who isn't related to my blood, but is married to someone who is. That person is someone's brother, and that person is my dad's dad, and therefore my grandfather.
It's like you can info them in one sentence. That's efficient.
Just in one word, you can know the exact lineage of this particular person to me, and if you're related to me, then you can work out how that works to me. So, yeah, family is complicated. It's a good thing.
Family is complicated.
It's a good thing that Bengali makes it very easy to understand, because there were like 500 people at the final wedding. So
so like you basically have to have like a name tag saying like, hello, my name is, and this is my position in the family tree.
Exactly. I did get to sit at a head table, which was very nice. I mean, I got fancy food, like a huge leg of lamb. That was incredible. That's probably the best leg of lamb I've ever eaten in my life.
Yeah, I was like, how large is the table? 65 people?
No, this was actually quite a small head family table. So yeah,
so 30?
more like 30, yeah.
And in those like traditional events where you have a big dinner, where you have like a big food event, what is the shape of the table? Is it like a round table?
It's a circle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. And does it have like a spinny thing in the middle so that
no, I think that's a very like Eastern. I mean, I've never seen outside of like an East Asian restaurant.
That's extremely commonplace in China. So it's like
like I've only seen it in Chinese restaurants but it would be very, very useful, for sure.
It is
So
extremely useful.
So useful.
And
there's so many things from Eastern cultures that the West should adopt, like soup spoons, for example. Like I didn't realize that Western soup spoons were kind of crap until I had soup. I was like, these soup spoons, like, so we have the same soup spoons that you would have in China, Kuriko. So I was like, what is this flimsy? What is this? This isn't. Why? Why?
And going back to the spinning thing on the table, not only is it useful as a child, it's extremely fun.
Yeah.
But during family dinners, like during multiple family dinners, you have to like balance between the fun and like you have to make sure you have you're min-maxing. You have to like maximize your amount of fun right before, but you have to stop before the adults actually say stop. You shouldn't do this.
True. That is always true.
I can tell the years of expertise.
Yeah, of course. Kuriko's truly an expert in the spinning table.
I haven't been spinning for years. I'm out of practice.
Well, next time we come here, we'll go to this hot pot place. That's
Well, hot pot doesn't spin.
No, it doesn't. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Crap.
But I mean, hot pot is also
Hot pot's good.
So,
I mean, that's.
like,
I mean, I was thinking
Heck
about it anyway. Okay, so. Oh yeah, another thing I noticed while I was away is something I always notice when I go to different countries is just how good the mobile service is. Like, I assumed that Britain's 4G and 5G were crap because of the nature of radio waves. Like, it's radio waves. Like, I guess it makes sense that it's kind of all like wonky or whatever. But no, it's just Britain. Like, when I went to Canada, we were in the middle of like nowhere in Quebec, and
you had 4G.
I had 4G, full 4G. In Bangladesh, I remember one time we were driving to the village where my dad's family comes from in the far north east, and it's incredibly rural out there. We were passing through some like amazing like tea, like where they grow tea and stuff. This is in the middle of nowhere, and I was able to watch a YouTube video on my phone in the middle of nowhere. And here, every time that and here like. Spotify will stop playing because there just isn't any signal, and I live in a city. Like, it's incredible how terrible it is in this country. Like, I just didn't like right now. Right, I have 1 bar of 5G.
How many bars does your phone display? 4 or 5?
I think Pixels display 4.
You have never seen a full bar before. You have never seen a full bar here, so I don't know how many.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's dire. I only have 2 bars. I'm like, okay, time to dox myself. I currently live near a venue that is sponsored by a mobile carrier. That narrows down my living place to 2.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, so it's either that one or either this one. But I have tried both carriers at my place, and like both of them have 2 bars.
Yeah, I've swapped like through multiple networks in my time, and they are all equally like bad at delivering service to you. Like this is 5G, and we are breaking like maybe like 20 megabits down. Like I thought 5G was meant to be the future or something, but it's not in this country at least. But
I'm going to do a fast.com.
Okay.
Right now.
I'm gonna do one right now, just to.
I'm gonna do one too. I'm in Australia for reference.
Okay. Wow. Oh man, that's crap. Wow. Okay. Let's do one. So I currently have 2 bars of 5G on Vodafone UK.
I have 3 bars on. Let's just say I'm not on Vodafone. So yeah. Oh, it now goes to 7.6. Like it dropped to like 700
kilobits. That was kilobits.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess for some reason today decided to be not bad. So we're at 260 down and about 10 up. which is
Megabytes?
yeah, which is not bad. But like the ping is like 50, so
Okay, it currently says 29, and
that's all right.
Yeah, I'm getting 54 megabit per second, and that's in Austria.
God.
So
Yeah, basically this country sucks. But don't worry, Vodafone and Free are gonna merge, and they're gonna do great things like increase prices. Oh, sorry. Did you mean sorry? You want to do something with like the signal stuff? No. What matters is shareholder value. I think it's quite funny that like the reason they said that they wanted to merge was that it would increase like the quality of the UK's mobile network. But like if you have enough money to merge, surely you could spend that money on
towers.
you know, right? But the thing is, the reason why it is bad is a function of the competition. If you think of it like this, there's no reason to invest in towers if you can just use that money to to decrease prices.
To just like, well, I mean, they can also use the money to just like throw that into the dividend bucket and just
also
pay
that
it back
too.
to share.
Also that too. Yeah. Because the thing is that Vodafone is owned by Vodafone, who is the biggest, I think, like network operator in the world after like China Unicom and things like that. And Free is owned by Hutchison Group, who have dealings in all kinds of sectors. So it's not like these are like two like small piffy players that are teaming up to work together. These are two massive conglomerates that have decided that hey, we should just merge. Why not? It's not
even the good merge.
Yeah, like it's completely useless.
Well, I mean, they can use it to raise prices.
That's true, and increase shareholder value. That's what's most important in this country, is shareholder value above everything else.
I mean,
that was very depressing.
It is still better than a two-letter carrier that just refused to let me to sign on a plan because I can't pass a credit check. It's like only because I don't have like a high street banking account. Like I have the same bank as Yaseen does, but like I just 3 tries of not able to get through their credit check because I want their postpaid plan because they have like international roaming, for example, and like I think it was the 3rd try that they tell me that like, look, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but there like in this mall there are other carrier stores downstairs. You can try them. It's like I can't do an override on the credit checks, but like. Those people at O2 downstairs is able to help. I was like, well, okay, see ya, thank you. So yeah, it's fun, and at the very least, I think Ofcom have the does manage the transfer in and transfer out process, or at least mandate some. So yes. It at the very least that part works, as in. It's the mobile carriers are legally required to give you to allow you to transfer out of itself. So that's pretty good. I don't think like the US, it's also possible to transfer numbers. I'm not sure like how. If that's like strongly legally mandated, but in the UK it is pretty heavily implied that like the regulator is doing the heavy lifting. And in China, I think last time I checked, you just cannot transfer numbers. It's like, well,
what?
if you want to, like, I think there were trials previously, but I don't think it's the norm. So. If you want to change carriers, congratulations, you have a new phone number. But again, last time I went back there is like 6 years ago now. So like, I don't know. It's like things might have changed. Yeah, you might need to spend social credits to make a phone call now. I don't know.
Yeah, in the UK, it is literally as simple as like texting a number, and then the process is just like automated from there. as long as you can prove who you are and stuff like that. Because it is so easy, it actually does lead to like things like scams and stuff, where people will try and port your number to their SIM card or to their phone.
So there's a SIM swapping scam.
SIM swapping scam, yeah.
Yeah.
But like it only happens if your carrier is really shit security, which it appears some of them are. Like when I tried to get so I have an eSIM, and when my phone went into repairs, I had to get a physical SIM to swap into a backup phone, and the guy, even though I was standing in front of him with the phone, the guy wouldn't let me swap the SIM unless I'd come back with some ID, which is good, right? Because which is good, like that's good. Like it was annoying and frustrating, but like it's better that like I went back and got some ID, and did all the whole process rather than like some guy pretending to be me and just doing it, without me even knowing. So good. So Vodafone, good security there. That's the only good thing I can really say about you guys.
Yeah. So what's your national insurance number? Just so that maybe I can pull imposter on you, but
you could. But like, that's useless without like anything else, right? Like the only reason.
Right.
I mean, you only need national insurance number to open a bank account. No, you don't. You don't even need to open a bank account. You just need that to get a job. That's basically all it's useful for.
True. Okay.
So unless you want to get a job in my name or something.
Okay. So right. So right. The UK doesn't use their national insurance number as like the social security number in the US.
The only reason the only times you would need to use it is getting a job, and applying for social welfare, and maybe some other bits and bobs that are financial related. But that is literally it. Like, and you can own, and it really is only useful with other forms of ID. So just having it alone, like, doesn't like you can have my national insurance number, but it wouldn't really do anything unless you could prove that you were also me somehow.
Okay, I see. So what can be used to impersonate you? Just curious.
What, you're gonna take my driving license and paste your face over mine?
Right. But like, okay, that's interesting because like in the US you do have this very insecure number of social security numbers that's basically tied to everything, and especially your credit reports are tied to that. So if you are trying to apply anything you want to do, like you want to apply for a lease for an apartment, or if you want to open a bank account, if you want to open a like a credit card, if you want to do basically anything you need, like it's you need a social security number. But like it seems like in the UK there isn't like a thing that can pin you down. Because not everyone has a passport, not everyone have a driving license, and not even everyone have like a provisional driving license. So yeah, it's interesting. Like it's, well, I mean, in China, like we all have like an ID card, and it's like the ID number is 18 digits, and like you remember that by your heart, because there are ID checks, not regularly, but like maybe once or 2 months, you are able to see like police officers forming a people law at the subway station, just so like they'll ask you to present your ID, and they'll like scan it because there is an NFC chip in there, and if you don't have it, you need to like basically say the number out loud so that they can vibe check you using their like whatever device they have. Yeah, it's fun, but it's luckily I currently don't have anything. I currently don't have any ongoing beef with the Chinese government, so I should be fine. But
yay!
Wait, so you're telling me that all the Chinese people have a serial number? This is robot girl coded.
This this is making me happy in weird ways.
Oh, you're so cute.
And this is the end of the Yascast. Thank you very much. It has been an hour of recording, and I still haven't asked you guys how you found the Fediverse. Miya, if you would like to go first, can you just tell us more about your Fedi history, which I assume is very storied and long.
Alright, I started my account in 2019 on a now defunct instance called new.moe. When it went down, I moved to Fedi.appshopstarber, the Akoma instance.
I use Akoma, by the way.
Yeah, so I used to be part of the Akoma gang. I kind of like stopped using Fedi for like a few years and came back with a whole new name and identity on mk.appshopstarber. Yeah. So like that previous account on new.moe, I kind of like don't talk about it because I know, but the one on Fedi.appshopstarber still exists, and there are some there's some takes on it that I kind of regret now. For instance, I defended Richard Stallman, and now I very much regret that. I think that like that was not a good position to take. But yeah, maybe someday I will go through this account and kind of like remove all the bad takes, and then because like it is like I don't know. I like having it. It's a nice archive, and like I wish that like I could just tell you what the account is, and you could just kind of like look at what Miya was like in 2021. Yeah, maybe someday I will like go through that effort because I'd rather do that than delete the account. But yeah, I actually don't remember how I found out about Fedi originally. I think I was just like into free software and that kind of stuff. And so, like, when I heard about, there's this clone of Twitter that is like free software and stuff, I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. But yeah, I actually don't remember what exact steps led me to here, but I'm glad to be part of the club. So yeah, that's it.
And now there are multiple instances that have pat_Miya as an emoji.
Oh yeah, there's been like, I've made alts on a few accounts. Yeah, I made alts on a few instances, and some of them were with exes that I had a pretty bad breakup with. So there is a bit of a cemetery of like dead Miya accounts. Luckily, none of them were ever my main. But yeah, I do know that I am suspended from and this is certainly just because the admins are my exes.
So why did you choose your current instance then?
I think it's just that like when new.moe went down, a lot of the user base moved to appshopstarber. Because I think the admin might have been part of new.moe, but I'm not sure. Okay. But either way, somehow this was like a popular instance to move to. So I kind of just followed them there. I actually did not speak German at all then, and it took me a long time to be able to write the name by heart. I came up with like a mnemonic that was like absolute turtle zebra Belgium or something like that. I don't remember the whole thing, but yeah, now that I know a little bit of German, I can actually write it by heart.
Great, cool. Thank you, Miya.
Yeah.
And Kuriko, what about you? Your Fedi history?
At the very beginning, I had a Twitter account for posting blowhigh images. I thought whether I need to start an Instagram for that, but then I said like, well, I shouldn't, and I just keep posting on Twitter, and like I don't want to say I'm popular there because I'm not. But it's been fun. I've been using my third-party Twitter client, and one day it stops working, and it's like, okay, time to get out. I've heard of the name Mastodon before, so I went there, and I think it was at the time where Mastodon Social isn't fully open for registration because everyone's trying to like move to there, so so I was like, okay, I should look for like a smaller instance, but still not as small, so that like it doesn't fold in 3 months. So first I chose what?
Ouch.
Yes,
Bad memories for me.
so first I chose the instance of tactile LGBT because, well, LGBT, and also it looks like a decent Mastodon instance, and I registered DM me or blow hi at tactile LGBT, and then I have found interesting people and creatures there, and then to the point where it's like, I want to interact those people, those accounts as me. I don't want to like hide behind the shark account. So I kick the human out of the shark account. The shark account still exists. The human account was Kuriko at tag LGBT, and I did Vibe there for a while, and I have a third party Mastodon client that I use that I like. It's good. And then a friend on Fediverse migrated to LiveZone, I think, and for some reason the federation was broken, so that like they're saying I'm following them, and I'm like it's like from both sides it looks like everything's okay, but we just cannot see each other's posts. So it's like, okay, time to migrate to White Red World. So that is the only reason I migrated. I still want to be on Mastodon so that like I don't lose access to, like, I can still use the app that I'm currently using. It's Mona, by the way. It's like, if you have a Mastodon compatible instance, it's good. But if you're on Sharky, that doesn't work because Sharky. But yeah, so you all right?
Nah, yeah, I was just crying because
Crying
Sharky.
because of Sharky.
Well, I mean, it is like, okay, time to diverge.
Go ahead.
I don't want to blame the developer of my app 50%. I don't want to, like, I don't think this blame have to be relied on Sharky, because the Mastodon spec, the Mastodon API spec does say you can submit post requests by either JSON or multi-part form, and the Sharky code base doesn't take multi-part form. It only takes JSON.
Yeah, I could have told you that, honestly, Kuriko. Like, I could.
Yeah. So if the app like actually does, like, just sends JSON requests, everything will go through. I'm able to do I can do like GET requests from a Sharky account. Like, OAuth works, getting post works, like, but posting doesn't work. So it's, again, I don't blame Sharky for this. It's just that I don't think I can just yell at this developer so that they can add the JSON switch to the app. But like, if I can give like £25 to this developer and they implement the JSON switch, I'll definitely do that. Or I can implement that in Sharky myself and submit a pull request on that. That is also doable, but I have not looked exactly into how to do that yet. Because it's just how the, like, it should be able to work. It might just be the HTTP framework that Sharky is using. And okay, I think I've done enough of
yeah,
detour.
I mean, I could have told you all of that, you know, like, I could have said,
yeah,
I could have
like,
told you all
I'm
that.
able to see Yaseen was like falling asleep. I've been using White Red World for a while, I think. Well, a while isn't that much. I joined May of last year. So, but, well, during this entire Fedi journey, I met Yaseen at, I think, I'm aware of Yaseen during my shark phase. And then in the Kuriko LGBT tech LGBT phase, like, I began to realize, oh, why is my site admin Shadow Jonathan at Tech LGBT just keep boosting this one account that said Yaseen on it? Like, why is this person popular? And then slowly, Yaseen, you are like the senpai at that phase of like when you follow request me, I was like, I think I posted something. I was like, and then I think in February of last year, like I think I sent a request of like I sent a DM of like, hey, can we meet? And then we met, and now we're here.
And now we're here. It's crazy, right?
And well, yeah, and I think like I don't remember exactly when Miya has appeared in the timeline because like I'm aware of the Splatoon creature I think a while ago, but I didn't remember when exactly. Everything speeds up after one of the Yasfest at Birmingham / Legoland. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's when we met in real life, and when I realized that actually Kuriko is so cute, I want to date him. Damn.
Oh, God. So wait, it's because of me?
Yeah.
I did this?
Did you not think of that?
No, I did, but I didn't want to like overstep. I was thinking, Kuriko and Miya, they get along. No, his was so fucking crazy, man. I was thinking, Kuriko and Miya, they could I thought like I was just like oddly thinking like Kuriko and Miya like they could get along really well, they could really like mesh together, and then when we were hanging out, I was thinking, wow, Kuriko and Miya, they're quite close, maybe I'm right. No, I'm reading too much into it. I'm reading too much. Like my shipping brain is just coming out. Like I can't be. It's just distasteful to do that to your friends, Yaseen. You can't do that. No. And then you were like, then it was like, oh wait, what? The thing? Huh? Maybe I was right all along. I wonder how that happened. I guess we'll never know. And it was me.
No, yeah, it was in the hotel.
What the fuck? I did this.
You did this, indeed.
Wow.
Yeah, look at what you have done. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So this is like the 5th couple I think that I have been instrumental. Like 5th? Like, yeah, like that I've like unintentionally kind of put together just by putting random people in a place together. Like when I was at university, I would regularly like ask people to hang out with me, and like some people bring like their friends and stuff, and then it just kind of came back like at least because of all the stuff I did at university, at least 2 couples formed while I was at university, and like then a couple more like after university because of me and my like unintentional planning.
Unintentional planning.
And then when I worked at the school, I would work with the teacher to adjust the seating plans.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Because I was like we were just talking like I think blah I think these two, I think they like each other. Do you think so? And she was like, you know what? I was thinking the exact same thing. I was thinking, what if we move what if we do a little funny with the seating plan, miss? And she's like, you know what? That's a good idea. All right, we'll for next lesson we'll put them together and we'll just see how it goes.
Aww.
I did it. Well, I mean,
you're so good at this.
But yeah, so I have a knack for this. Now, when will it be my turn? When will it be me?
Yeah, why are you so maidenless?
Yeah, I know, right? Like, it's crazy. I should be less maidenless. I should be maidenful.
The whole purpose of the Yascast is basically a mating call for Yaseen.
Ah.
So it took me like 17 episodes to do this?
Well, apparently. So if you're a girl, reach out.
Yeah, if you're a girl, reach out to the podcast and we'll have a special episode. I'm kidding, right? But we'll have a special episode where we will have all the candidates and Yaseen will have to eliminate one each time until there is only one winner who will become Yaseen's wife. We should make this a reality.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure, fine. Well, thank you
That
for
is
letting me. Thank you for telling
that.
me your. Oh, go ahead, Kuriko.
No, I think that can be like a whole TV series.
You know,
Like,
Absolutely.
you know, it is
We
a
have to
TV
monetize
series, right?
this. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good. I didn't know how online you two were. Like, I didn't know if you guys knew like what TV was, in that sense.
I mean,
I did know that this was a thing. I forgot the name though.
I don't know. Like, I know of I know the concept of TV. I don't know the concept of TV license.
Okay, cool,
Right,
good. Right.
the infamous TV license.
Sure. So one thing I did want to ask you about is, like, what are you thinking about in terms of the current situation, in regards to in Nigeria right now? If you let me, did you just leave? Did you just
Miya left.
me left the meeting? Was my question that offensive?
They are.
What? Oh no, jeez, Mia.
Yeah, hi.
Huh? Did you? Why are you okay?
Yes.
Did something
Not
happen?
either. No, it's just that like I just
Oh no, it
I
froze.
felt
Oh
it was
fuck.
best if I didn't respond.
Mia has a stake in this whole Nigeria situation,
Right,
so
okay.
she might
I was
not
just
able
like,
to comment.
yeah, I was thinking it might be better if you two talk it out together, and I just like
No, it's-
leave the call while this is
No,
happening.
it's just that Nigeria is a bellwether for the continent, you see, and you know, with its weakening economy and rising insecurity, there's a threat to its progression in the democratic and social norms, and in fact, there's a deepening distrust in its institutions. So that could threaten not only, of course, African development, but also global development too, as Nigeria becomes a significant economic powerhouse. I'm fucking with you guys, by the way. You don't actually have to answer this question.
I mean, we're taking that seriously, and you're on the bus. So, do you think you're driving
Yeah.
the bus? You're not driving the bus anymore, Yaseen.
Oh, okay.
But also, I have nothing
You
to
have no,
add.
you have to add. Okay. Just know the situation is very complicated. Very complicated. It's
Nigeria's
so very.
situation is crazy.
It's crazy. The situation in Nigeria is so crazy right now, especially with recent elections that it had in the last year or so. Even more crazy. It's just very crazy and complicated too, and also complex as well. So the Nintendo Switch 2 recently just came.
Oh, right.
This is probably something you guys will be able to talk more about, rather than the situation in Nigeria, despite the fact that is obviously much more important right now. But anyway, the Switch 2, it is a thing. It is real. Thank you, Nintendo. It apparently has a power slightly above that of the PS4, which is interesting to consider. And in docked mode is slightly more powerful than the PS3, I think, or something like that. So that is a reasonably powerful handheld. And if Nintendo can get it below that £400, £350 price, I think it could be a smash hit. And of course, it could run older Switch games, upscaled or whatever.
Well,
That's what I'm thinking, at least.
I think it says there may be some and it might not be a fully backwards compatible thing.
Right. Okay.
I think they have said but I wonder why. It's why would it not have backwards compatibility?
Yeah. Like what games? What one particular about the games that aren't backwards compatible? Because I think it doesn't need to be completely backwards compatible. It just needs to be backwards compatible enough
With most
games, right? Because with that in mind, it could leave the original Switch, much like the PS4 and the Xbox One, in this kind of console you don't actually need to own, like as a retro thing, because pretty much 99% of all PS4 games and Xbox One games are playable on the later consoles. So there's really no reason to go out specifically to buy them to experience that particular console. It's not like a PS3 or an Xbox 360 where buying those consoles and those games is part of the experience because you can't get them anywhere else. Obviously, like Kinect games are different kind of fish. So if enough games are backwards compatible, then the original Switch, will be like, there's no real point in owning one, especially if all the Switch gimmicks are in the Switch too.
They have to attract you. They have to they have to entice you with like new things.
I'm curious what like the thing is. I mean, like the Switch 2, comparing the Switch 2 to the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, I think is probably optimum, not in terms of power, but just in terms of like chronology. Because, the PS5 is just a souped up PS4 Pro, and the Series X is a souped up Xbox One X. Like, there's nothing that really differentiates them from the older generation, rather beyond pure power and some extra like special things like the SSD, for example. So I wonder what will be the thing that drives the Nintendo Switch 2. Because remember, there are still loads of people who play games on the Xbox One and PS4 right now. I think something like half of all PSN logins are from the PS4. And the PS5 is like 4 years old now. So there's a significant number of people who are still keeping that old console. So what is what reason will Nintendo give you to upgrade to the Switch 2 rather than keeping the original Switch? Beyond pure power alone. Like will it be a better experience overall? Like, will the OS and like the way you interact with the games be better? Because it's a difficult line to walk, right? Because even the Wii U was different enough from the Wii to warrant buying it, even if it was a complete internal flop. Where does that put the Switch 2? Like, will it have like it has two USB-C ports, so I think that's interesting.
Yeah, like, and the placing is definitely interesting. Of like, what? Well, you can't do it on the side, but like, it's what can it do? It's
that I was curious. And why specifically? Why does it specifically need a second one? I mean, obviously the bottom one is for charging and video out and docking and so on. But like, why is there what is the reason for adding another port on the top? Are there going to be peripherals and stuff that Nintendo are planning to plug in? Like, will it come with a mouse or something? I don't know.
A camera.
A camera. Yeah. Welcome back, Kinect.
A camera or a printer or like a rumble pack.
Or maybe it's just for charging it when you're in your bed.
Yeah, just another. I mean, if it takes in power, that's useful already by itself. Because man, it is annoying using it in your bed and trying to charge it because the cable digs into.
It goes down.
Yeah. So if the USB-C
the Switch does, the Steam Deck does have a charging port on the top. So maybe Nintendo just saw that and were like, that's quite a useful feature to have, but we can't have it because of the dock. So therefore, we could just have both ports.
Yeah, and I think it's useful if it takes in power, which I think it. I mean, it'll be a weird oversight for it to not take power. I mean, if it didn't,
but
I wouldn't.
Nintendo.
It's Nintendo, right? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a data only port. Like, I would not be surprised if it was data only. Just for like some bizarre reason.
I'm not surprised. Like, I won't be surprised if there's a USB 2 only port though.
I mean, it is Nintendo, so I would definitely not be surprised. I mean, but if they wanted to like do stuff, I mean, is USB 2 enough? Would that be enough? I don't know.
I mean, depends on the thing I want to do. Definitely.
But I mean, like in terms of future proofing it, like USB 2 would definitely not be enough. I mean, when the Switch 1 come out, like 2017 or something?
2017, yeah.
Yeah. So like the Switch, that is definitely longer too. I mean, it looks fucking ugly on a 4K TV. I can tell you that much. So it definitely needs at least a little bit of future proofing. So I'd hope that the USB-C port on top is data and USB 3. I mean, maybe not USB 4. I think that's a bit overkill for Nintendo. But you can use a Thunderbolt display with.
So here's a fun fact. The original Switch dock had a USB 3.0 cable on the back. And actually, they never ever implemented it on the OS. Like, the 3.0 pins were never used, and it was 2.0 in practice, even though the hardware was 3.0.
Right. Cool.
Oh.
Classic Nintendo.
Yeah. And then in the OLED revision, they replaced it with an Ethernet port.
Right. More useful, I think.
Yeah.
I hope that they actually add customization of the themes in this time around. Because you get the feeling with the original Switch that they were gonna add themes in it. I mean, like, why is, like, when you go to the theme setting, right, there's only the basic black and basic white. And there's a whole lot of white space, like, just there. And it makes you feel like they were planning on adding some kind of, like, theme shop or whatever.
Store, yeah.
Yeah, and, like, the names basic black and basic white kind of imply more like
premium
premium
white,
or something. Premium, yeah, premium or something. Like why would they call it that? Why not just white and black or light and dark? You know, like the word basic there kind of implies that there's other kinds of blacks and whites that they were thinking of. So I'm hoping, but I think it's a necessary console. Like, it's not like the PS5 Pro, which is just there for some reason. Like, it is definitely a necessary upgrade, not least.
The Switch is so old. Like,
the Switch is so old.
Yeah, people were joking about that all the time. When they released the OLED Switch, when Valve released the Steam Deck, it definitely feels like Nintendo is behind right now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And, like, Nintendo obviously has never been the console of the
future.
The future. Yeah. Even, like, the original Game Boy was designed in such a way that it was just dirt cheap to manufacture. And in fact, one of the reasons why I believe the Game Boy was successful was because it used 2 AA batteries.
So that you can, it's convenient.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, buying batteries is a hassle, and I remember the Game Boy lasted quite a long time on just 2 batteries, so it made it cheaper to run. In comparison to, like, the other handhelds at the time, which needed like 4 or 6 or more or whatever. So yeah, so Nintendo has never been about, like, performance or whatever. But I feel like, you know, playing. I mean, me and Miya are both Splatoon enthusiasts. So both of us have definitely felt the age of the Switch while playing Splatoon 3. It looks gorgeous. We can tell that if it just had a little bit more in the guts, it would be a much better game. And especially something like that needs to definitely run at a lock 60, which the Switch 2 just cannot, like, do at all. So yeah, a Switch 2 is definitely needed, but we are not really the primary target for a Switch. Not in the sense that we kind of care about it running good and looking good. In that sense, like, most people who are going to buy a Switch aren't necessarily cared about teraflops or pixels or whatever. They just care that, like, it plays games. I mean, that's the reason why people get massive TVs, even though the pixel density is way worse than a smaller TV. Like, they just care it's a big TV. It doesn't matter how many, like, pixels it pushes. It's just big. That's all that matters.
Are you talking about yourself?
My TV's fine.
But it's big.
It's big, yeah. But my mom wanted a 100-inch TV, and that was never gonna fit there. This was the compromise choice, Kuriko.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Huge. I'm exaggerating, of course, but, like,
huge.
I wanted a smaller TV size, and my mom wanted a bigger TV size. This was the compromise.
It's still so big, though.
But it's good.
It is good.
It is good. I think it is the right size, I think.
Right. I've watched, I think, 2 films on that. It's good.
It is good. You're like, it is good for what? It is just good. It is good. Yeah. We watched Your Name. That's what we saw last time.
Right.
I was so, oh my god, what an incredible film. Like, watching the second time around was even more moving than watching it the first time around.
because you have new thoughts. You're watching with people that you actually cherish.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
It was nice to watch it with you guys.
and you
Aw,
also
thank
torrented
you.
this time. Thank you.
Yeah, it was,
No, we would never.
we would never torrent it. We would never, of course, commit copyright price. But I think it's funny that me was like, oh yeah, let's just watch this film, and then I was like, okay, I'll torrent it, and then, sorry, I mean, I will borrow it from from many
Resources.
friends. I'll borrow it from many friends, one bit at a time. And then we just watched it. That's crazy. The internet is great. I mean,
It's
all
great.
these friends that I borrowed it from, I appreciate them very, very much. That I borrowed it in little chunks over time. Yeah, and like, yeah, so that's Nintendo Switch 2. And comparison to PS5 Pro is like I still don't understand why it exists. Like, I feel like it only exists for those kinds of people who pixel peep. Like,
Yeah,
It's a
like,
7-year-old console. Come on.
PS5.
PS5?
No, the Switch.
Oh, the Switch, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like, the replacement is definitely necessary.
Yeah, whereas the PS5 Pro is not necessary, like, in a sense. Like, it feels very ostentatious to have one. The only difference between the PS5 and the PS5 Pro is the extra detail it pushes in images, but you would only really notice if you were the kind of person who pauses the game and goes up to your screen with a magnifying glass to have a look. Like, all the comparisons you see are zoomed in to show you what the differences are. But if you're staying at like a normal distance from your TV, then like you won't really notice all that much, you know? Like, I think it's diminishing returns at this point in terms of like additional detail in video games. And
Yeah.
and I think this idea that the more, like, the more rays you can trace equals better game is absurd now. Like, the hardware is already at the point of, like, the saturation point. I feel like we need to go back to making games that look pretty rather than look detailed.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Like, you can
same.
make good looking games that are big and expansive without needing to, you know, show me every follicle or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't care if a character has peach fuzz on their face. I mean, I'm not going to be looking at the face for the entire duration of the gameplay, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, little things do add up to make a more immersive experience, but we're just adding way too many little things for no real benefit. You know, like, use the extra power of these consoles to push more colorful. That's why Splatoon is such a great game. Like, it is not. It doesn't need like ray tracing or whatever. It looks visually stunning in whatever way. You know, the art style is well defined and well designed. One of the games I think about is this one game but it was a racing game, and the art style they chose was this very very like cell shaded comic book look. And the game was for the PS2, and still today
Oh.
it looks really, really impressive because the art style they chose just doesn't really age all that much, and it looks gorgeous. Hi, editing Yaseen here. The game I was talking about was called Auto Modelista for the PS2, released 2002 for the PS2, GameCube, and original Xbox. I feel like Splatoon is one of those games I feel like that in like 10 years from now will still look impressive despite the fact that it's such an old game. Whereas a game like, I don't know, like Call of Duty or whatever, right? That will definitely age because of the amount of effort they put into making it look as stunningly photorealistic, as possible.
Although I do remember that I used to think that of Splatoon 1, and recently I've watched some gameplay from Splatoon 1, and I was like, damn, this game looks pretty ugly actually.
Yeah. I mean, Splatoon 1 does look pretty ugly, but I feel like Splatoon 3, I think they really got the art style much more, like, honed, like they really, like,
I
did
think
a
so
good,
too, yeah.
like it's definitely a market improvement over Splatoon 2's art style, which is already pretty good, but they just made it just a little bit better to add that little bit extra polish to it.
Yeah.
And now we can all look forward to Splatoon 4.
Yay!
Yeah.
Splatoon 4.
That'd be so
honestly,
awesome.
that is literally the only reason why I would get a Switch 2 is so I could play
Same.
Splatoon 4. Like,
Absolutely, yeah.
with emulation and stuff, like, playing online is a hassle, and
Yeah.
Splatoon,
Well, it's not
Splatoon-
possible usually.
it's not possible, yeah. And Splatoon is kind of... Splatoon 3 had a great single-player campaign, but just like with Call of Duty, you don't really play Splatoon for the campaign. You play it to...
You play it to like, yeah, for the online stuff.
for the online stuff.
Have you
So
have you played Side Order?
Yes, I have. No, have I? No, I have not. Is that the DLC?
It's DLC and it's so good.
It's so good. Okay, I will definitely check it out. Actually, speaking of Call of Duty, I did buy. So I went to a retro game shop today to get my controllers fixed, and the guy there was so chill. He said that he'd call me back like next week to give me an update on how things going. So that's good. He also said that because I brought in so many controllers, he'd give me a bulk discount.
Oh my god.
For reference, I have 4 Xbox Series controllers and 1 Xbox One controller. One was a gift. One came with the console. One was because the controller that came with the console broke. Then Amazon gave me a voucher to buy a new one. And then what I did was I sent that back to Microsoft, who then sent me a controller.
Oh my
and then I bought another controller.
Oh.
So I essentially have 2 controllers for free, effectively, and then one was a gift, and then one was one I got custom made from the Xbox store. So that's four controllers. All of them have stick drift, or a jammed button. And whereas
Nice.
I have an
Just like everything in the United Kingdom, nothing works.
Whereas the Xbox One controller, which I got with my original Xbox One X, like 7 years ago or something, the controller is completely fine. The sticks are worn off from like the rubber on the sticks are like kind of worn down, but beyond that, like it works absolutely fine, despite being twice as old. Like that's just stick drift is such an annoying issue, and they could fix it, but they won't because.
I mean, now there's more reason for them to not care about Switch 1 stick drift.
Yeah.
Exactly. I hope. Oh my god! If the Switch 2 has stick drift, I'm gonna be like, this is fucking nuts, man. Like,
Yeah, so actually I think they will have like a Hall effect sensor sticks, because like this technology is like getting much cheaper. Like there are many Hall effect controllers on Amazon that are like so cheap. And like I think even how much like shade Nintendo got for the Switch Drift, I think that it's just a no-brainer to put some Hall effect
right. Yeah. Exactly.
joysticks in there.
Yeah. Because
So
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
no, because I mean, like Nintendo did a lot of like repair jobs and like returns and replacing all that kind of stuff over the lifetime of the Switch. So I imagine that it would be cheaper in the long run to have Hall effect sticks
To just get it right in the first place.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Or you know what they say, prevention. You know, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Yeah.
In this case,
And they're never gonna advertise it.
Yeah, of course not. Of course
Yeah.
not. Because
Yeah, they're never gonna admit fault.
Because they don't imply they were wrong in the Switch 1. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But it'll be funny if they have like if they say if you want the like fix it in the hardware and reintroduce it in the software so that there's a separate switch in the system settings so that if you want the true feel of the Switch 1
my God.
controller, turn that on and then the stick just like starts going.
So there's one thing that we were going to discuss, which was the recent Loop saga. Do you want to get into that? Do you want to talk about it briefly?
Sure.
Or should we... Yeah, sure. Okay, so for those of you who aren't in the know, Loops is a TikTok. Okay. is a TikTok alike created by Danzup, who is at Danzup at Mastodon.social, and it is fine. It kind of sucks, actually, to be quite honest. The app doesn't really.
Well, it
work.
is in development.
It is in development. I mean, I'll give it that. It's in alpha, it's in pre-alpha. Like, there are bugs and issues and so on. So there's really no point in comparing it to the actual TikTok.
Yeah.
But it is a TikTok.
It is definitely a big project, at least. They got funding from NLNet, and like they seem to be very, very serious about it.
Yeah. Like Daniel is many things, but he's definitely serious about what he does. And, and he is definitely a good like programmer and coder and stuff. Like he has done. So it's like he's not a hack. He knows his shit. Just like this is a big project. It's in development. Whatever. Anyway, so preface is that he has apologized to me and to Hazel about what had happened. So hence why this is a smaller discussion rather than the longer one that was originally advertised. Yeah, we were gonna go really in depth on it, but like he apologized to me and to Hazel, and he promised that he would reinstate my account, so that's good. I don't really want it, but so
have you checked?
Yeah, and if I may add, the apology was just absolutely lovely.
It was a very
I thought it was so
apology.
sweet.
Yeah.
It was a very sweet apology. He said something like one of the key things he said was that I just write code, but like people like you Yaseen, that's what makes the code kind of worth. I'm like, man, that is like an honestly sweet thing to say. Like
it's so in character, but it's so sweet.
It's very in character, but it's a very, very poignant thing to say. I really appreciate Dan. If you're listening, I really appreciate what you said. Yeah. So yeah, there was a whole thing about it. Like he basically my account, I couldn't log in. And I was like, hey, what's up with this? Why can't I log into my account? And then it turns out that my email server that I used to register the account, well, one of the other email addresses on there was linked to the Kamala Harris parody account on Loops. So Danzup decided to ban the entire domain from the app. Hence why I wasn't able to log back in. And then Danzup called me a Russian, working for Russia. Well, he implied very heavily that I was working for Russian intelligence, which is not true, by the way. I am part of the Iranian-backed propaganda machine.
I almost said sure. Sure. Okay. we love you regardless, Yaseen.
Glory to the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Of course.
I'm glad you guys agree. I'm glad you guys agree about that.
Yeah.
And then there was like a whole thing about it. It got real bad for everyone involved. Not me. By everyone I mean Dan. And then Gargron appeared from on high.
Like from above comes down.
He came down. Mr. Mastodon himself was like, "Hey Dan, you're a pretty swell guy, but please knock it off." And then that was kind of it.
Yeah, he kind of went crazy. Just saying the most nonsense. Honestly, it felt almost defamatory. The way that he was like, I don't know, just saying whatever against you and others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was quite extreme. I was like, whoa, this is quite a loaded thing to say about someone. I was just asking like, what happened to my account? Like, I was legitimately like, hey, like, what is up with this? Like I'm genuinely confused as to why I can log in, and like banning the parody account for Camera House is like fair enough, whatever. But like the whole domain, really? I mean, it's kind of like I didn't even post on there, man. Like I didn't even do this is literally the first time that I'd been banned from somewhere, and I didn't even do anything. Well, besides friends.
Yeah.
Besides friends.
Well, last time this happened at T2.
Yeah,
you actually posted.
I did actually post.
Yeah.
So if I do post, I get banned. If I don't post, I get banned.
Yeah, the illusion of free choice.
Illusion of free choice.
Free choice. Like in the end, it points to the same thing. It's like getting banned.
Getting banned. Oh my god. Can't believe it. Banned from two social networks already in my life. Feels good.
Are you going to have a like getting banned from Meta speed run for like just
After all the recent shit that Matt pulled, it's a tough.
but-
It's tough. I think.
Right.
No, go ahead. Go on there. Hi, it's Edson Yaseen from the future. Just to let you know, I disavow anything positive I said about Dan's up in the segment, and even Miya said she gave him too much hope. He never gave me back my Loops account, not that I wanted it, and has now suddenly banned Hazel at besties.house. So that's very cringe of him. I don't know why anyone has any faith in this loser. Okay, I promise I won't interrupt this episode again. Let's get you back to it. Alright.
Okay. But yeah, although Dan did apologize, I would say that it's a little bit concerning. Okay, I think Dan is an amazing programmer, but someone who is maybe not very good at managing their feelings and social relationships and that kind of stuff. And I do think it is a bit concerning that someone like that is has the power to make decisions like those. And so still, I find the governance of loops to be a little vague. And I hope that that either Dan is able to make great progress on this and all of that, but I think more likely it would be good if there are some checks and balance to avoid these kinds of situations from happening again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's exactly the reason why Mastodon, the organization, recently changed their structure, right?
yeah. They changed the nonprofit.
Yeah, so now Gargon is no longer, well, he's still the leader or whatever, but he's no longer like the sole decision-making organ of the whole thing. Like, they're going to transition to I don't really know or care, but they're going to transition to a new kind of structure that meant that decision-making is a little bit less centralized in one guy. I mean, I don't know why you would want to move away from that kind of structure. Like, it's not like one guy controlling everything has done anything bad for any reason at all in any point in history at any time.
CCP is great.
I mean, you can clearly contrast, Mastodon's recent move to Zuck's recent moves. Like, completely the opposite way around. Like, Zuck has centralized pretty much every kind of responsibility that Facebook would have devolved to its teams back to him. Whereas Mastodon's gone the opposite direction, which is instead of having Gargon be the main kind of figurehead controlling everything, moving to a more open system or however they choose to do it, right? Like, because the thing is that was, I mean, the thing is that Zuck has always been the ultimate authority in the corporation for as long as it has existed. So, and even the share structure is set up explicitly so that he is numero uno. So there's two sets of shares, and one set has so even though one set is the majority of all shares, it has the minority of voting rights. And the other set has the majority of voting rights, but minority of the shares. But those shares are worth more than the other set of shares. And those shares are owned by Zuck and his allies. So any decision that needs to be voted upon needs a majority of all votes. But since him and his allies have the majority anyway, by virtue of holding these Class B shares, I think, any decision that Zuck wants kind of goes. And the people with the Class A shares, well, I mean, they're getting a huge payout every single time anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, Zuck has been... Facebook, the corporation, has been insanely profitable for at least a decade now. So, if I was a non-voting shareholder, while I may disagree with Zuck, it doesn't matter because I'm getting a boatload of money. And Zuck's recent changes to moderation and so on have obviously been quite... Because the thing is that even though moderation on Facebook has always been a crapshoot, at least you kind of understood, like, the whole situation. Like, it was kind of like saying bad things about men is equally as bad as saying bad things about women. But, like, you understood that, like, yeah, okay, this doesn't really make sense, but it's understandable as to why it's like this. Whereas now Zuck has very clearly altered moderation policy from above to kowtow to his political agenda of, gargling the balls of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying to think of, that one presidential election in one country has changed policy on one social network for the vast majority of the world. I mean, Facebook is like, if Facebook was a country, it would have like the world's like second or third largest population. Like, this is a huge shift just because one guy wants to suck up to some other guy.
Well, X is also the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like Zuck is a master cell, whereas Elon Musk is like a teenager who's discovered 4chan's B board for the first time. Like, you can't really compare them, Like, one is definitely like one is Zuck is opportunist. Whereas Musk is just a troll. Like, he just has no like sense of foresight. Like, he does not have foresight at all. He just exists in the present perpetually and doesn't care about the future because his present has always been like one of like cushioned by his wealth. Right? Whereas Zuck is a cold-blooded, like, dumbass who knows that if he sucks up to Trump, one, his own political ideology is secured, and two, he gets a buttload of money.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, Musk is sucking up to Trump because it owns the libs. Zuck is sucking up to Trump because it owns the libs, but
because of money.
But it also gets him loads of money. And not to mention that, obviously Zuck has always had a cozy relationship with the US government through the prison program and things like that. So I guess in a sense this is like a continuation of the norm, just more extreme. I mean, now the pride themes are gone from Messenger. So previously I said that they were renamed, so the trans theme became Candy Floss, and the non-binary theme became like Glowing Sunset or something. And just so you know, Candy Floss is a British term, which means that they localized the transphobia to British English.
Ooh.
Yeah, because it's cotton candy in the US,
That's right. If they were just being lazy and just like doing it just because, they would have just copied. They would just called it cotton candy in the UK.
Like,
but no,
yeah.
But they specifically renamed it to Candy Floss.
Oh my god!
Someone knew that Candy Floss and cotton candy were the same thing.
To be fair, they did probably have to localize it in every language in the world.
That's true. But they
so I probably have a team that is just specialized into like localizing to UK English.
Probably. But even so, it is a sign that they were really doing.
They put effort down.
They put effort into it. And you didn't really, Anyway, the themes are gone now. The only existence of the theme is in one chat with my friend Jay. That is the only vestige of the theme existing. And if I press and hold to change the theme, it would say your current theme
is not available.
No. It would say your current theme is no. If you change your theme, you will lose your current theme forever. So yeah, I'm not fucking changing that.
Thanks, Zuck.
This message also appears in this other chat I have with my friend, where the theme is Mariah Carey. So we're not changing that one either as well.
Honestly, you know what? I will take Dan's up over Zuck or Elon Musk anytime.
Yeah, for sure, right?
We'll take loops we'll take loops out any day.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, Zuck has never actually done any of his own work.
Right.
Like his original thing was that like hot or not thing, which is an idea someone already came up with. To Facebook was an idea he stole from the Winklevoss twins, and 3, everything else since he has just bought. Like Instagram, he bought. WhatsApp, he bought. Messenger was a clone of.
WhatsApp?
No. Messenger was a clone of like a. There was a chat thing. This is like going into like the old Facebook lore or whatever. But like there was a specific. It was a clone of MSN Messenger.
Oh, okay.
Like it was specifically designed to compete with MSN Messenger. So. Yeah, like other shit too. Like Facebook added hashtags to compete with Twitter. Facebook added circles to compete with Google Plus. Facebook added location sharing to compete with Foursquare.
Foursquare, yeah.
Foursquare, which has gone down the shitter, by the way. Foursquare is just like completely useless now. Yeah, like every part of like there was nothing original in Facebook. Even Facebook itself just isn't original either. Zuck has never done any real work in his life.
And now
is this for a moment in the H Bomber guy video where he just goes, wait, who the fuck is Mark Zuckerberg? And then it turns out that the second half is just like a fucking expose of like how Zuckerberg is actually plagiarized all his work.
So, like, don't look at the progress bar in your podcast player right now. But
do not look at the progress bar.
I think we're in the middle. We're right in the middle currently. My recording currently says like 2 hours.
Oh man!
Just don't look at it.
You have no idea how much I have in like my notes section right now. We just aren't gonna cover.
We're near the end. Don't worry about it.
Do you guys want to move on to the questions, or is there anything else you wanted? Or are you okay if I keep going with the notes?
Yeah, you can keep going with the notes, honestly. Let's just make this the longest episode ever.
Future Yaseen, you are gonna hate me. So the other thing I want to talk about was actually Bone Ghazi. Do you guys know about this or not?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, right. So, Bone Ghazi. So, on Facebook, there was this group called, like, the Witches Coven or something like that. And in this group, this is peak left book. If you don't know what that means, it is essentially like this kind of constellation of Facebook groups that had ostensibly left-wing ideology, but it was mostly just, like, ideology shaming kind of stuff. Like I remember one group that you could join. If you got kicked out, you could be let back in by writing an essay that would be graded by other members of the group, and if they thought it was good, you'd be let back in.
Oh my god!
That sounds very middle school.
Other groups would have insane entry questions like a group for like looking at photos of cats would have question 1. Be like, so groups have any questions like just to know that you're not like a human or if you're the right fit for the group. But some groups be like, oh yeah, hey, I love looking at cats. Question 1. In your own words, do you believe that reverse racism is real? I'm like, I mean, what does this have to do with cats? Like, why do I need to? Why do I need to
fully expose your political view to be let in?
And other things like, oh, you know, are you going to vote for Donald Trump in the next election? I'm British. Why would this question just isn't relevant?
Oh my god!
Like, why are you so fucking American? Just make the question and be like, would you vote for Conservative? I don't know. So yeah, so this Witches Coven was one of these left groups, and one member in the group decided that she was going to do rituals with bones, and she would do them with human remains that she found, quote unquote, found in a graveyard.
What?
She would rob the graves of the dead and use their bones and whatever was left of them as part of her rituals. Sorry, their rituals.
What?
And to make matters worse, the reason why she could pick these bones is because the land in New Orleans is quite marshy, so most cemeteries are dug very, very, very deep to avoid the stuff coming back up to the surface when it rains or when conditions are pretty bad. So just so you know, that is expensive, right? So if you're poor, you don't get buried deep in the ground.
Oh.
You get buried below ground, shallow.
Right.
And so that means that your remains are easily accessible to people who would like to use them in rituals.
My God.
So not only was she grave robbing, but she was grave robbing from the poorest in society, and most likely also ethnic minorities too, because they were the kinds of people who would not be able to afford a proper grave. Oh, these would be people who were homeless, who were poor, who weren't able to afford a real grave. They had just they were just one layer of dirt and that was it, kind of thing. So this became a big thing because one, the group did not allow criticism of other people's rituals.
Well,
So even though what she did was wrong on many, many levels, what they did was wrong on many, many levels, no one could really criticize her for doing it, lest they be ostracized from the group. And then this kind of spilled into general kind of Facebook. This is how I knew about it, directly from the whole Facebook stuff. So this kind of stuff was spread to the other network of left groups on Facebook. Oh my God, look at this kind of stuff. And I saw some of the most insane takes. People were like, oh well, they're dead, so they won't even notice it. Or things like, oh well, she's
they won't notice
it. Or this person, they're just honoring these people who never got a. I'm thinking, bro, they did not ask for this shit. The dead people did not ask for this. What about what they wanted with their bones? No. And then this eventually spread to Tumblr. So this gravedigger did have a Tumblr account, and they would use that account to kind of defend themselves from the allegations. And this is how we found out that what specific grave she was getting these bones from, because they had basically left they'd basically because obviously it was known that they had lived in New Orleans, and so from bits and things that they had said, it was kind of easy to work out which particular site it was. And then this isn't even the worst part. The worst part is that they were selling the remains online.
What?
Yeah, they were selling the bones. They were selling the bones and remains online, which I remind you,
is that legal?
Is not.
No,
is not legal. It is transporting human remains. And and then they did get arrested for desecrating,
grave robbing.
Yeah, and it sparked a whole lot of discourse. It's funny because there was a lot of it was well, this is kind of like colonialism, and I'm like, yes, question mark, but not really. I understand where you think colonialism fits in this picture. I get it, right? Because this is a white person desecrating the graves of people who may or may not be ethnic minorities, but it's not really colonialism. It's just white privilege or something. I don't know. There were lots of points made by both sides that were kind of not really relevant to the point. Like yes, it's obviously like a class thing and a race thing and so on because of the specifics of the gravesite that was used as the target. But calling it colonialism is kind of a stretch there, in my opinion. And yeah, so that's the Benghazi situation. It's called that because it's a reference to Benghazi, which was the whole thing that the U.S. Republicans had about. I don't really know, but Hillary Clinton was involved, and that's enough to make them cope and seethe with rage.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's Benghazi.
I currently have the Wikipedia page for this up, and I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read the categories that this article belongs in. 2010s in modern paganism, 2010s in New Orleans, 2015 controversies in the United States, 2016 controversies in the United States, body snatching, burglary, crimes in New Orleans, Facebook criticism and controversies, Internet memes introduced from the United States, Internet memes introduced in 2015, modern paganism in the United States, neo-pagan witchcraft, religion in New Orleans, religious controversies in the United States, Tumblr, hashtags, and TikTok.
Wait, what?
Great.
TikTok? Why is that? TikTok wasn't around in 2015.
Okay, so it was spread there. The concept originated in Tumblr's witch blur community and then spread to Instagram and TikTok after the mass exodus of Tumblr users in 2018. So if you have a TikTok account, if you are in the United States, do search for it before Sunday hits, because so I'm going to assume in the year they're going to put like Red Note onto the category too. Red Note is currently still the top free app in the U.S. App Store on the Apple side of things. So yeah, it's
It's really the Americans love the little red booklet.
Yes. The Mandarin name for Red Note is Little Red Booklet, and that is a reference. That is the same word used to describe the malwares. Like no, it's the things that the Mao have said was compiled into a book,
In a little red book.
into a little red booklet.
Yeah.
And that was pretty prominent in the Cultural Revolution. It basically it kind like you are supposed to have it on your hand like at all times, just like a national ID. If you don't have it, you get into trouble. That's what I heard. I was born after Cultural Revolution, just for the record. But yeah, I'm not that old. But yeah, it's a direct reference to that, I think. But I think they realize that we might if we're exploding in international affairs, we probably shouldn't do that. We probably shouldn't have like a direct communism reference. So yeah, Red Note of this.
It's incredible that they were able to name it that, because I feel like if I were the Chinese government, I would kind of see this as making light of national symbols.
Well, the thing, to be fair, I think right now, because if they named the app the words that Chairman Xi has said, then they'll get into trouble for sure. So I think it's just that the spotlight is not on Mao anymore. Yes, there is a Colosseum. There is a he is still laying there in the glass. He is still laying there in the Tiananmen Square. Yes, but sure, it's still not great. If you just say Mao is a bad person, then that might still get you in trouble. But I think there's less focus on Mao now, so that if you just say if you say Mao is controversial, then yes, I think you should be good. But if you say, I have several comments about Winnie the Pooh, the animation series that that will get your comment deleted on most websites. I think that's the reason they're able to get. They're not in trouble for naming their name.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we move on to the questions?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. So, oh yeah, this is a week old. I just realized. So the original recording date is supposed to be what, like last Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was not feeling very well, and neither was Miya, and now we are feeling better. So we are here.
Or just take turns to get sick.
So there are 39 top level replies to this post, which is very impressive. We might not be able to get through all of them, but we will try anyway. So the first question is from Yaseen_J@library.zone. Oh, that's me.
Oh.
Do you?
Hi, Yaseen.
Hi, Yaseen.
Hey.
Hi, Yaseen.
Do you guys have this up, or do you just want me to have it up?
I have it. I have it
I
on
don't
my
have it
instance, so we might differ.
Okay.
But I do have it on my
that's
on
fine.
next to it. Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe that the invasion of Iraq in 2003 by the US and coalition forces was justified or not?
Can I call a friend?
Yeah, sure.
Nika, do you believe that like the invasion of Iraq by the US in what year again?
2003.
In 2003 was justified or not? No. She said no, so that's my answer.
Who's there?
That's Nika. Nika, do you have a theory? Yeah. What is it again? She's thinking.
We can move on to the next question. Kuriko, you didn't answer.
Well.
Okay, that makes that answer. I'm not so sure.
Ah, okay.
So my answer to this question is Tails. So no, I don't think it's justified.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you both agree. No, it was not justified. Also, I appreciate it. Me was like, invasion. That could be good or bad. I don't know which is which. Anyway, for the record, it was very bad. By the way, it was not a good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
not a good thing.
If it's
That was a
something
good
that
answer, Nika.
It was not a good thing.
if it's something that like W have done, then yeah, it's not good.
Yes, for sure. The only good thing that so according to a thing I read in The Economist a while back, the only good thing that Iraqis believe that they received from the U.S. occupation was not like democracy or whatever. That was like at the very bottom of the list, and it wasn't things like women's rights or whatever. That was also kind of at the bottom. It was cellular data.
Okay.
Because under Saddam Hussein, there were no telecoms. But after the US liberated... What was the statement?
What did you say?
Yes, that's right. That's right, yeah.
Yes, that's
And
right.
also, that the US did try to justify it by saying, oh yeah, Saddam Hussein totally has weapons. Big weapons of mass destruction. They're real, and they're there. And the UK was like, yeah, we also agree. They're totally there. Totally there. Guess what? They weren't there before, and they have not been found since. The only reason why the US and coalition went in there was to depose Saddam Hussein and get access to that sweet, sweet oil.
Right.
It also didn't help that after the occupation, the coalition and the US and the coalition decided to fire like every single civil servant.
Ow.
So while yes, they were obviously like Saddam civil servants, they would have been instrumental in helping to rebuild the country. But they fired all the civil servants and fired all the military, and so you have these people who would have been instrumental in helping rebuild a country that just didn't exist. And now Iraq is kind of a mess of a lot of terrible, horrible things. I mean, it's no Iran, and it's not like Syria, but it's still not pretty great, and that's why telecoms was one of the main things that Iraqis are thankful for after the US invasion.
Is there 5G coverage better than whatever is happening in the UK?
Oh, most definitely, for sure. But do you want to know another fun thing about telecoms in Iraq? I'm going to tell you now.
Sure.
So as you know, the specifications for 5G and 4G and 3G are kind of done by an international coordination group called something, which I will forget, which I'm sure I'll remember like after I finish this episode.
GSMA?
Yes, that's it. GSMA. Yeah, that's right. But for 3G communications, there was a split between what was posited by the GSMA, which is 3G UMTS, and what was posited by Qualcomm, the chip maker. So they had their own alternative to 3G called I forgot the name. But it's very popular. It was popular in the US at the time. And the thing about the GSMA specification was that it was free to, not free to use, but it was like operators could have it for a certain amount of money, right? But it wasn't like a per device thing. Now, with the Qualcomm specification, you had to pay Qualcomm for every device. Yeah. And Qualcomm,
they're just trying to grab money.
And guess what? Qualcomm is a US technology corporation. So that means like half the networks in Iraq used Qualcomm technology and half used more open technology. So that's fucked up, basically.
Is that CDMA 2000?
That's it, CDMA. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, CDMA.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's okay. Well, yeah, I can't say for Iraq, but there was like a 3 system separation in China for 3G. So one carrier, like I think like China Mobile was cheesed by the government because they were pushed the national, their like Chinese own thing. I think is TDS CDMA, and like that have no compatibility with like any other network. So like they're kind of fucked. And which means if you have like an iPhone from like if you brought iPhone from like outside of China, for example, and you are on China Mobile, which is the most popular carrier, the only thing you can get is Edge. You cannot get anything higher until iPhone was officially introduced. And the other carrier, China Unicom has UMTS, and China Telecom has CDMA 2000. But now everything is kind of merged. So it's well, not merged, but like it's the standards are the same. So for 4G and 5G. So,
so with the CDMA standard, the networks would have to pay a regular licensing fee to Qualcomm to use technology in their mass and in their backend and stuff, which is kind of like this other part of like the American occupation.
They're just like kind of secretly taking money from it.
Yeah, like that's fucked up. Like Iraq could have totally had a completely GSMA like system of carriers, but it didn't. Now obviously they do because LTE and 5G and R and whatever, but that's besides the point. But yeah, so yeah, every time the US goes somewhere else, they kind of fuck it up, don't they?
Every time.
I mean, hell, when they went to the Americas the first time around, they fucked it up, didn't they? So
yeah,
it's kind of in there.
Always has been.
The phasing curve since the start.
Okay, so next question is from @domi @donotstar.re. To each of you, why? Why not?
I think
mostly for fun.
Oh, well, okay. My answer is meow.
And from Ash does not have cat ears, who is @ash@fetty.shorks.gay. As a follow-up, how?
With complete race and absolute power of Skibidi.
Whatever she said.
And 2,500 lesbians.
Whatever they said. At Domi at do-not-star.re, it says, again, if you have enough time, how did I get here? I walked from my room and I sat down.
You got here because of like all the circumstances and all the fate that got us together. Despite this world being so large, our souls were meant to be together answering your question.
Yep, true.
So many things have to happen at the right time, at the right place, at the right order for this podcast to happen.
It's crazy that we're all in this room at this time.
Like, I had made that joke about starting a podcast for this podcast to exist in the first place. And then I'd have to join the Fediverse, and then all this other stuff like would have happened. Like, I would need to have not be friends with Hera, who introduced me to Akoma. And then that started my stream of being a complete giga chad in terms of a lot of Fedi software choice.
You're so sick, my essay.
Thank you.
Just
The next...
Are you okay?
I'm going to kill my... Oh, no. The next question is from Alex, who is at alex@fedi.shorks.gay. Can Alex come to next Jazz Fest? Yes, you can.
Of course.
Yay!
Next is from...
Are we going to spill the beans or no?
Not yet.
Are we going to... Okay.
Because by the time I reach the end of this episode, it might have already happened. So it's like...
Yeah, it's going to be April.
Next question is from @move@cupoftea.social. How do you take your kitty? Well, that's a good question to ask from this particular instance. I do not drink tea. The closest thing you'll get is probably maybe a vanilla chai latte, I suppose. Does that count? Yeah, vanilla chai latte.
This sounds like a woke drink.
Shut up, libtard.
So my strat is usually I go for like whatever tea is sold in like a bed kind of packaging. This generally tastes a bit fruity or whatever. And then I just drink it without milk and without sugar.
Cool. Wait, what? Oh, without milk and without sugar. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought... I thought you said without water.
Just the tea leaves.
I was just thinking that you just swallowed the whole tea bag raw.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Next question is from Bunny, who is at bunny@raru.re. What is that word anyway? Rarure?
Rarure, I think.
Is that like a Japanese thing?
I don't know. I know that it's the instance that like it's a spiritual successor of new.moe. I just didn't go there because I was on bad terms with the admin.
Oh, I see. And I use Mastodon
that's
anyway,
the law.
So, what is your favorite animal and why is it bunnies? Obviously, no bias detected here from Bunny. My favorite animal is... Is it bunnies? No. I mean, I have a soft spot for bunnies. Like, I feel like I could be a bunny myself. I'm sure you two will agree on that front. Whew. You know, I'll go with bunnies.
You're going with bunnies?
Yeah.
I'm deciding between a neocat or a neofox or a neobun. So bunnies is definitely there, but I don't think neobun is like that. Like, it's relatively not less popular than neofox and neocat. I'd say my favorite animal is neocat googly woozy.
Are you sure about that? Are you absolutely sure?
Oh dear. Okay, neofox googly woozy comes very close on the second. I think my favorite animal may change, but currently I'm gonna submit that as my final answer. What is my judgment? Do I receive judgment?
I'm just going to go with bunny. I think bunnies are very cute. They're very fluffy. They have very nice long ears. They jump very high. You can pull down the gun now. Like it is. I said it. I said bunny. Okay. You. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And the next question is from Moof again, who asks, does P equal NP? Does B equal NB? Does D equal ND? What?
I know the first one. I don't know the second or the third one.
What do these mean? What is this? Does P equal what? Does B equal non-binary?
Okay,
Well,
I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to just say yes, no, and maybe.
Okay. The next question is from Moof again, who asks us in Togipana, which is the conlang that you guys speak. So I do not know any Togipana at all, so this is my attempt at saying it. By the way, it's such a cool conlang. I love conlang so much. I feel like anyone who speaks Togipana is like a cool person just by like I feel like Togipana speakers when I interact with them, they're quite, those kind of people are quite nice.
Join us. One of us. One of us. One of us.
Okay, maybe. Anyway, whatever. Right. Is there a Togipana accent? Like, is there a way to speak it? Do I just speak it like naturally? Do I pronounce it like it's French, like I would with Esperanto?
Yeah, you cannot pronounce things the way that feels most obvious. Although J is supposed to be pronounced like a Y, like it makes a Y sound.
Okay, I'm just gonna go. So, Moof asks, or says, Kama jo la mi, while tokitan ni. Mi while toki, kepeken tokipona tan ni. What does that mean?
Alright. Kama yo la, mi wile toki tan ni. Mi wile toki kepeken toki pona tan ni. This does not mean anything. See, in the reply chain below, I just said seme, meaning what? It transpired that moved used a translator to do this question. Unfortunately, it kind of failed at like conveying the complexity of whatever they wanted to ask.
I was like having trouble. Like, wait, what does like? I have to look up some words, but there's like, wait, it doesn't like semi. It doesn't. It didn't. Yeah.
We're trying to ask if we'd finish the rest of the podcast and talk Pona.
Yeah.
No, because I don't speak it, so.
Pona.
But you know what? This shows that Tokipona is a lot harder than people might think. And automated translators don't work. Okay?
Right.
They don't work.
Next question is from Green, who is at green at mk. Your instance, Miya.
MK.absolute.
Thank you very much. You three seem to be very good friends. We are very good friends. And you two are very good friends.
Good dating.
How did you meet each other? Oh, that's a good question, actually. So, obviously, I knew that Kuriko followed me on the Blahaj account. And then...
Yeah.
And then I started following you in person.
And you started following me in person on your personal account.
Well, as in, like, I was physically stalking you.
Okay. Then you followed me on your Kuriko account, or Tech the LGBT. And I thought, this Kuriko person seems quite chill. I'll follow back. And then I guess we just started talking, and then you asked me to hang out, right? That was it. And I thought, okay, sure, why not? I came to London, right? Or did you come to see me?
No, I went all the way up.
You went all the way to see me. And that's when we went to the gardens, right?
We went to the gardens, yes.
And it's meeting you for the first time was so fun. Like, it felt like we'd been friends for ages. That's how it felt. To me, at least.
Yeah, we went to a park, and then I went into the Yasmobile. I almost got killed. And in the end, we went to a Lebanese restaurant.
That's right. Yeah,
it was very good. And
I think
I think I also
and you lobstered me.
Yes, I prepared a greeting card that have like very sweet words on it, but then I printed the you're being lobstered image and just snuck that into the card. Yeah, it was fun. It was definitely fun.
That is so
Yeah, yeah.
cute.
It was a fun. It had a fun time for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that was it. We're BFFs. Me and Kuriko. And me and Miya. I mean,
We've known each other for a very long time.
a very long time.
I remember you from Mastodon.lol.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. We've been. I think we at least knew each other from then, if we weren't not friends. But I don't think. I don't think we were friends back on Mastodon a lot.
I'm not sure either, but like I remember that you added me on Matrix.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's when we became friends, when I added you on Matrix. That's a sign
Yeah,
that
that
I
was
thought
a
you
very
were
long
friends.
time ago.
And that was a very, very, very long time ago.
I don't even remember what prompted this.
I try and remember like what in particular made me want to talk to you. Like I don't know what it was, but like I felt like there was something drawing me to you as an entity. I was like, oh, this entity is quite nice. I'm gonna talk to them on Matrix.
Heck yeah.
And that's been it. And now I've seen you more times than I've seen any other friend. So I quite appreciate you, Miya.
Can we kiss?
Like on the cheek, sure.
Heck yeah.
Oh, and I guess you too. Like, what's up with that?
Well,
yeah,
there's a Yas
so-
Fest.
Yeah.
So,
it was
So I know that Miya came to London, right?
Yeah.
And then Kuriko also lives in London. Sorry for doxing you, Kuriko.
I was boxing myself more
So
detailed.
was that the
than,
first time you two like thought about talking to each other, or like how did it all work out there?
I think the first time we saw each other was during the Yascast. I think. I don't think
first time
organized
we
the
met
meetup.
physically is at Houston.
But like before that, like, okay, I see. So beforehand, the two of you were just like strangers that knew me, and then you met at London Euston to catch a train together to see me.
Yeah, I think we had exchanged a few messages, but not much.
Yeah, they're like we've been in I think one or two like mutual Discord servers, but like the actual start talking part is during the Yasfest planning.
Yeah.
And our first meetup is actually, well, unfortunately, at London Euston.
What the fuck? Whoa. So I was way more instrumental than I even thought I was?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Holy shit. What the fuck? Whoa, wow. So wait, you guys haven't really known each other that long in relative terms?
Yeah.
Yeah. Relative terms, yeah.
And it's all because of me? Whoa.
It's all because of
you. You.
So if I never invited... So hold on. Because the only reason why you two met, right, is because Miya was going to London, and I said, oh, hey, I'm doing this thing on this weekend. It'd be really cool if you'd come, and we can do it together as a group.
Yeah,
Can I move my
rescheduled.
train?
Yeah.
And then Miya moved her train schedule just to accommodate that specific thing. We were going to go to Legoland. So if I had met Miya... So if I didn't have the idea to go to Legoland, I would have met Miya, like, on the original date. And we would have... So hang on. Okay, here's the chain, right? Because I shitposted about the Lego Center not letting adults in. And then I said, you know what? They have an adult night. I wish someone would go with me. And then Kuriko was like, I'll go with you. And I was like, oh, maybe more people could go with me. And then you, Miya, said, oh, I'm coming to London. I was like, can you come on this weekend so that you can join me at Legoland? And you were like, heck yeah, that's a great idea. And and then you two met on the train to London out of convenience, because it's better the two of you go together. It makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And we also had the hotel booked together.
Yeah.
Right. Were you intending on staying in the same room together?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so we did kind of like exchange some messages.
Okay, and that was just pure coincidence.
Not necessarily coincidence, but like it was practical.
It was a practical decision, right? That's when
Yeah.
I was thinking. I was like, man, they're sharing a hotel room together. Huh, that's interesting. You know, it'd be funny if they were sharing it for other reasons. And I was like, no, surely.
What do you mean by other reasons, Yaseen? What do you mean by other reasons?
Surely it can't be that. Surely it can't be that simple. But it turns out that you probably at the beginning of the day, it was a practical reason, and then by the time we got to the end of the night, it was like, it worked out pretty well kind of reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I say that.
Wow. You know what? I have put Cupid out work today.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish one day it'll happen to you.
Thank you, Kuriko.
Aww.
Next question is from... How many fucking questions are there?
A lot.
I'm going to have to pick and choose now. Okay. Let's see. Fuck me. I hate you guys. Oh, by the way, someone did ask a question and they deleted it. The only reason why I know that is because I wrote a little note as a DM to myself with an answer that I was going to give. But the question's gone now, so that sucks. Oh yeah, Merlin asked me how much I charge for a sponsored segment.
Oh yeah, that was funny. Thanks, Nadia.
By the way, I sold my soul for 2 spazzy for this. Check out Project Sapphire at beta.sapphire.network, where DNS goes to die.
Wait, how come you got the promo and I didn't? That doesn't make sense.
I DM'd and asked and basically asked, hey, I'm willing to sell my soul. Do you have a sponsor reach for me? And yeah. So I'm gonna have 2 spazzies delivered to my to delivered to me soon, I guess.
Okay.
And you sold your soul for 10 quid. It's like more expensive than 2 spazzies.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Oh, okay, this question is good. So, this is from Free Cats and Trenchcoat, who is at Chloe at catwithaclary.net. Mainly for Kuriko and Miya, but what is the best way to get to meet Yaseen?
Okay, so you have to set up a trap.
Yes, I love this.
Okay.
Yes, so you have to find the tallest, most like caring and like beautiful woman you can, and so you just put her in front of a Yas house, and you dig a hole in front of her, which you cover with just like some branches and leaves. Then you wait for Yaseen to come out, and then they will just instinctively run towards this beautiful lady and fall into the hole. That is how you catch a Yaseen, and then the Yaseen is just there, into the hole, ready to be met.
You also have to come to the UK for this part.
Yeah, you do.
That is like the easiest way to meet me. This is from Jen, who is at Jen at ck.catwithaclary. Wait, what? Are there 2? It's catwithaclary.net and then ck.catwithaclary, whatever. Are either of you 3 gay? No. Next question. The next question is from Jen at ck.catwithaclary.net. Opinion on Wendover, but yeah, we're all very gay. Opinion on Wendover Productions / half as interesting / jet lag the game. I think he's a interesting guy. I know that the Half an Interesting show has had a lot of errors that are very big and very bad. Wikipedia slop time, but the Wendover stuff I think is pretty good. I've never observed jet lag. Is it
Jet lag is so good.
It's a travel game. It's good.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's great. It's amazing. It's the best thing ever. The premise is that they create kind of like board games, but are played by taking public transportation. And it's a lot of fun to watch. And I don't know, for some reason, it seems to be the kind of thing that all the terminally online transams are into.
Yeah.
Like, I've seldom met a terminally online trans person that wasn't into jet lag. Yeah, like the more autistic they are, the more likely it is that they are into it. And like every day where there is a new jet lag episode, it's pretty much like a
You
public
can see
holiday.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's basically like we're gonna like 4 people is gonna play hide and seek in
For
the
instance,
European
yeah.
Union.
Cool.
Yeah. And then they have to take trains in order to find them, and that is so cool because trains are cool.
Trains
That's
are
true.
cool.
That's true.
They could never do that in the US. I think well they did it, but like it's mostly by flights and rental cars, unfortunately.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. The next question is from Hannah, who is at hannah@moonserver.yohan.nexus, which runs Firefish, actually, interestingly enough. The first question is for Miya. Hello there, Miya. Did you give some of my hugs to Yaseen as was agreed on?
I don't think I had the opportunity yet.
Okay, but you will next time we meet up.
Absolutely.
It's currently collecting interest.
It's collecting interest, actually. Maybe you will get 2 hugs by the time we meet.
Fantastic. The second question for all of us. When will you go on tour together? I would buy tickets. Would you tour to Hamburg?
Yeah, store. Yeah,
Yes,
store.
tour.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, store. Yeah, store.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I wish I was either unemployed or filthy rich. Then we could do that. Well, actually, not unemployed because I'd run out of money like halfway through the tour. You know what? I just wish I was filthy rich. Then I could do this tour. But yes, if we
I don't know,
ever
it depends
did tour
what you mean by a tour. We could, like, do interrail together or something.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Sure, why not? Okay, so I'll take one more Tokipana question actually.
Alright.
Let's do this one because it looks quite short. Moku Sem li pona tawasina.
Moku seme di pona tawasina. Moku ade di samatawami mi sonada.
Yeah, whatever she said, I'm sure it's totally acceptable.
I think that's for food. That's asking for food, right? That's asking for
Yeah,
like,
favorite
what
food.
food you like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am famously known for liking cheesecake. I'm pretty sure everyone knows that by now.
And boiled pizza.
And boiled pizza.
Yassie, do you see
Yeah.
an Instant Pot behind me?
Yeah, what's
Ah.
what's with the pot? I've been curious about that. What's with the pot?
There's 2 slices of pizza in there.
Are you
I-
pressure cooking
Pizza, yeah,
pizza?
yeah.
The-
For the Yascast.
Did you do that just for this episode?
Yeah. I posted it yesterday
Oh my god.
saying if this post gets more than 3/4 of a like, I'm going to pressure cook pizza for the Yascast.
For the audience,
why?
Kuriko is looking quite smug right now, and I am looking off to
yeah.
the side, like there is like I'm in the office.
This has happened before. This has happened before.
Yeah. The human domestication treaty.
More questions. Let's do another question.
Yeah.
Okay, so right, this is from Luna Aria Ilenia. Oh, well, I already spoiled one of the questions. Who is at Ilenia at ck.cat with a clarinet. I finally caught one again. For everyone, what is your thoughts on the current number of Lunas here in the Fediverse? Should there be more?
Sure.
Sure, why not?
Welcome more Lunas.
Yeah, heck yeah, more lunas.
The more moons, the better, I think.
We
Yeah.
have like 40 moons up there, so
But I'm not dating any of them.
You should change that.
you should.
Yeah, we should change that.
The next question is, how do you pronounce her name?
I say Yelenia?
Yeah.
Cool. And a normal question, which is, do you have any music recommendations? My music recommendations are always the best.
Settings App by Webcage. It's a song about the Settings App. It's great.
Oh, okay.
I've saw that. I've seen it. I've heard it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. Settings App is good.
God, the Settings App. Yeah.
So
wow, okay.
if I'm recommending, I think I posted this yesterday, but it's currently a Toho song named Fairy Tale, Fairy, Tail, Tail, not Tale, from Swingholic. It's good. It's good jazz. Yeah, Toho just have the Toho universe just have any it has all of the music that you can imagine of, but you can immediately tell that's from Toho. So that's it's good. It's good.
Toho has just all the bangers.
Like Sano's maths class.
Yeah. And yeah, what about you, Yassi?
I mean, my music taste is always good. So picking one is clearly a difficult.
Okay. It's like choosing your tribe.
So
exactly, but I am. Oh, what are you gonna say, Kuriko?
Oh, so you just have to sit in the Yasmo the Yas car to know.
Oh yeah.
Yaseen's music choices.
Mm-hmm. So many bangers, of course. Like when you two were in the Yas car, we were all vibing to some of the bangers we had.
We were more surviving than vibing, but yes. When we don't have to worry about the surviving part, the vibes are great.
Yeah.
When Kuriko says surviving, he talking about the other drivers on the road, not me. Okay, well, I guess currently I'm mainlining this song called "Love for You" by Lovely Laurie and OVG Mishmug. It's just a nice song, you know. It's it's this kind of genre of music that feels like it is perfect for TikTok edits of things that you love, like you know those really overly saccharine memes about your pookie or something. This is that kind of song.
Okay.
But it's just kind of chill, and it has a nice vibe to it. So, you know, don't let the ops catch you fucking with it. Really.
Yassi, do you have a public playlist
On Spotify?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, I haven't made one recently, but
Yassi as a DJ, that should. You can make it the Fediverse's best best playlist.
Also, can I mail any of you things? Yes, you are more than welcome to post me stuff. My address is Yas House, 123 Yaseen Street, Yaseen Park, Yasesta Capital Province, YS1 1YS, Federal Republic of Yastoria.
I mean, I think none of us can really share our addresses publicly, but
Yes.
if you find me at a chaos event, I can absolutely mail things to either Yassi or Kuriko. I will be at GPN and I will be at What Hackers Yearn, and of course Conquest. If you find me, you can just give me stuff and I will mail it.
Yep. Also, this is the part where I beat Sky to death with a shovel.
What?
Oh, in the questions, after this point I beat Sky to death.
Oh,
with a
right.
shovel.
I see.
What?
Yeah, Sky was being kind of.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, right.
Yeah. This is where I beat her to death with a shovel. But Jen made the same reference, but because I like Jen, I decided not to beat Jen with a shovel.
Selectively beating.
How do you? Oh, this is from Solenico at fedi@.shorks.gay. How do you feel about the Fedi robot uprising of early 2025? Good, bueno.
it's very Pona. It's extremely Pona.
I feel
Yeah,
like
it's good.
I kind of participated in this because, like, I don't know, there are like many cool robots at Congress, and they kind of showed me the way. And after that, I started robot posting, and I feel like I was kind of at the start of the way, but I don't know. But also now one of my headmates is a robot, so that is kind of cool.
Yes, and Anita the robot is cool.
Anytime a robot, yeah, it's so cool.
Okay, can you guys pick one question each, and we'll ask that.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, Miya, go ahead.
I'm looking into this.
Okay, cool.
This one is from Alina. Handle is Alina at girldeck.gay, and the question.
So this question, which Kuriko has picked, is from Alina, who is at alina@girldeck.gay. She asks, "Why is Miya so cute?"
Because she just is.
She just is.
I think it might be like good skincare and like picking clothes that are nice.
And
But Miya,
and your winning smile as well.
yes.
Ah, thank you.
And the like or like the Miya energy in general. It's like it's kind of in the like you kind of have to feel the vibes. Miya has good vibes.
Oh, thank you.
Miya, do you have a question you want to pick? Or should I just pick one?
Let me see.
Oh, I have one I'd like to pick.
Oh,
but
sure.
If you have...
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
This will be the last question, all right?
Okay.
Is that okay? Yeah, okay. Last question then is from Yaseen Nabin, who is at JessieNab at wetdry.world, who's Kuriko's friend.
Yay!
Ooh.
In fact, if it wasn't for Kuriko, I would not have known Jessie, because Jessie I met in Canada.
Oh right, you two did meet.
No. Yeah, we met, and because of you, Kuriko, you suggested that we meet, and now we are friends.
Yay!
So Jessie, also I'm starting to pick up, my nose is starting to get bugged up as this episode is going on. So if I sound really weird right now, it's because my nose is like this. So it's maybe it's a good thing we start to tail off. Oh god, I'm gonna die. To all, what do you think is the most popular plush toy worldwide, not the shark?
I wanted to be the polar bear of IKEA Cosmetic, but I don't think that is going to be the case.
I feel like Pikachu.
Oh, that's a
That's
good
a
one.
what? Right, okay, that's a good one.
Maybe Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But is that a plush toy though?
Yeah.
Well, it can, okay.
Yeah.
3 minutes later, legal document from the Disney Corporation. And yeah, I don't think Paddington is it. It's a British thing, but it's like it's not. It's just not across. But if we're talking about like most popular plush, like if we're talking about the wet dry world, I'd say it's the Masto plush. But if we're talking about fatty, then definitely other than the shark is definitely the Masto plush. But
Yeah, I feel like it's either a Pokemon or like a Disney thing. Like I feel like it's one of those two.
it could be Yaseen. We can make Yaseen into a plush.
With less asbestos this time around.
Yes.
Maybe Hello Kitty.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
Hello Kitty, yeah, and like cinnamon roll, and
Yeah.
The Sanrio characters, yeah.
Yeah, those you can get at Miniso. Use the offer code Yascast to get 5. No, I don't have a sponsor read on this one.
You know what? You just reminded me. There was a mini. We went to a shopping mall, and there was a Miniso, but it was lunchtime. I was like, okay, we'll check this out after we have lunch. And you just reminded me that we forgot to check it out after we had lunch. I could have gotten like real cheap. It could have been like super cheap because of the cost. Oh, that sucks. Oh well. And to all, what is your favorite plushie / one of your favorite plushies? Well, for me, it is the. So for me, my favorite has to be this little guy.
Aww.
This is Doof. It is a orange and black Bengal tiger bean type thing. It's been with me since I was 7 years old, I think. So he's still looking pretty good. And he's been with me for pretty much my entire life. So he looks after the house while I'm gone. But after that, it has to be, which he isn't here right now, but behind me is a big giant raccoon plushie, and then there's also the Blahaj and the Master Plush, and also Baba is
Baba?
you. Yeah.
Yay!
Baba is me. Baba could be any one of us. So those are my favorites.
I would say that my favorite plushies are, I have one that is a medium-sized Takodachi. That's the mascot of VTuber Ninomai Inamis. And so, because it's a VTuber plushie and it's quite well made, it has a bit of like sentimental value.
Aw.
And also, yeah, it just looks very cute. It looks like a big purple kind of ghost creature with a little halo, and it has a very cute kind of relaxed face. I have another favorite plushie. I would say that's my Emil plushie. Emil, I guess. Emil, I think is how you pronounce the name. That's the character from the Nier franchise. Like, I always have a plushie dangling from my backpack. I got it short before my trip around Europe, and I would always hang it on my locker when I was in hostels, so that he would protect me against thief.
Oh.
Now, it turns out that in Nier Automata, he is not very successful at protecting himself against thieves, but nevertheless, he did do a good job because nobody ever stole anything from my locker, certainly because of a plushie, and not because I invested in a pretty high security lock. But yeah, this plushie has been traveling with me for quite a while. There are some stains on it that I cannot explain and that I cannot remove. But yeah, it's there. And like, if you just look up like Emil, Nier, and IER, you can kind of see the character design. It looks kind of like cute, creepy, and many people have commented on it. Either being like it always like warms my heart when they're like, oh, that is so cute. Because, like, well, it is good. But it's also kind of a bit scary, but, I think it's good.
That does sound cute.
Yeah, it's like a kind of smiling skeleton with a big face.
All the questions we have time to answer.
Alright.
There's a lot more that we could have gone through, but
I mean, like, will they spill over to the next one, or are we?
we can do another episode like next week, just the three of us again, right?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Paid episode. You have to pay money to listen to this.
just for the subscribers only.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Spotify changed the way they do monetization, so now I can never get monetized, like, ever. They just, you have to get like 1,000 listeners or something. Which is like impossible, considering like I'm already in like the top like 20% of all podcasts just by having more than like 5 listeners. So
Yeah.
that's not because like the Yascast is doing well. It's just that like with any like broadcast medium, no one listens to anything or watches anything.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff out there, and so a lot of stuff isn't listened to or observed or whatever. So just by having one person observe, you will automatically ban like the vast majority of content that exists.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I think each episode pulls like at least 100 plays, which is not bad. So that puts me in like the top 20-ish%. Not enough to get monetized, but
20% is still pretty impressive.
It's still pretty impressive. Yeah. I'm impressed. I mean, having one listener is like more than I anticipated anyway. So, yeah, that's all the questions we had time for. I'm sorry if we didn't get to your question. It is just by nature of the fact that we spent 1 hour talking about stuff before we actually started.
Well, the recording is currently 3 hours now.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It has been fun having you both on here. Hope you both had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's talking to you two. Of course, it's a good time.
Yeah,
I
of course.
agreed.
Any conversation with you is always a good time. Thank
is
you
a good
so much for
time.
having us.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I had a great time too, and using Meet to do this is much better than using Discord. Like, holy shit, this is like a way better experience.
Interesting.
Yeah, like it sounds better. It also helps that I guess we have video, but like whatever. Anyway, the point is that we had fun. I had fun. You two had fun.
Yeah.
And Kuriko sent a heart emoji, and how do you do it?
I know how like.
Oh,
I use as at work. I know how like I know
that's so cool.
features here.
Oh my god, it explodes into like little hearts and stuff. That's really cute. Oh my gosh, that's really cute. Me and Miya are spamming heart emojis on the screen. So that's all the time we had for today's episode of the Yascast. This episode was hosted, directed, produced, edited, and everything else. Scripted by me, Yaseen. Today's guest is Kuriko.
Meow.
And Miya.
Yeah.
The opening theme tune was composed by Ellie, who is at ellie@yearning.gay, and this episode was mixed and mastered by gamer@bungle.feddy. gamer@feddy.bungle on online. That is goodbye from me.
Bye-bye.
This episode was recorded in front of a live swarm of bees.
Goodbye, chat.
Goodbye, chat. Good night.
Goodbye, chat.